Your sports talk fix gets one more hour of greatness with Action Sports Jax Overtime with Casey Kurtz and myself. We're breaking down local and national sports, and with segments like Cash It or Trash It, vague headlines, and I Said What I Said, every moment is action-packed. So remember, every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax, stick around for Action Sports Jax Overtime from 6 to 7 right here on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Cross Carolina off the list of potential landing spots for Baker Mayfield. ESPN's Diana Rossini reports the Panthers are not interested in acquiring the Browns quarterback. A good option for Mayfield would be an NFC West team, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
I think Seattle would be the best spot for him, and here's why. Because Pete Carroll doesn't mind conflict. He likes that stuff, like that what Baker brings, that conflict, that I don't want to say arrogance, but that confident approach.
Keyshawn of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. From ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Adam Schefter, outside linebackers Adarius Smith agreed on a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Vikings. He backed out of an agreement with the Ravens last week. New York City Mayor Eric Adams today reiterated that while he does remain optimistic about the COVID-related numbers he's seeing, the city's professional sports teams are going to have to wait their turn as far as potential vaccination mandate rollbacks are concerned. As part of the current mandate, players who are not vaccinated are unable to play in New York City. That includes Nets guard Kyrie Irving.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Devontae Adams wanted a long-term contract a year ago. Aaron Rodgers' uncertainty certainly played a role in it. He is still good friends with Aaron Rodgers.
More from the guys Tuesday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I'm a little disappointed today at the NFL. It's 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Why hasn't a quarterback moved? I mean, what the heck? Still got like 20 other teams that something could go down.
Hey, we could have had one, but Carolina said no thanks.
No thanks to Baker. Who's going to take Baker?
Seattle or bust.
Is Baker like Blake Bortles?
Hey, I mean, Blake Bortles had a job with the Rams, not as a starter, but that happened pretty quick.
Yeah, but my point on Blake Bortles was Bortles played 5 years. Jags obviously gave him all his chances.
Played a lot of football.
And then, yeah, he went to the Rams just as kind of like this, hey, let's go get corrected almost. Let's find myself. Let's reset. But in reality is I'm still surprised that nobody will take Blake. I think he's on the Saints roster. But you know my point. Like,
yep.
He's kind of floating out there playing golf here in Jacksonville more than playing football. And he's a guy that's been to an AFC championship game, played a lot of football in the NFL, and has done some good things in the NFL. He's not obviously a fantastic quarterback, doesn't need to be your starting quarterback, but he's a good dude, so he's not going to be a bad guy in the locker room. And I've always said, like, I can't believe Blake Bortles isn't always a backup. Like, why wouldn't he always be a backup? And I don't really know the answer to that. Like, I'm not sure. I don't fully know. But obviously teams don't. They'd rather go with, like, Colt McCoy. Like,
still
I don't get
paid.
it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I mean, up until 2 years ago, they were still going with Matt Schaub.
That's a fair point.
Instead of Blake Bortles. Like, I really look at some of the backup quarterbacks that are out there, and are you telling me that Blake Bortles isn't a better option? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. And so I would say, is Baker Mayfield going to turn into that, or is he going to start for somebody this 2022 season and get at least another chance? Hey, Blake got another contract and got 5 years out of the thing. Baker's going into year 4, and I'm not sure he's going into year 4.
That's true. I'm telling you, it's Seattle or bust, because all the other, like Mariota got his job in Atlanta. If Carolina doesn't want him, Houston obviously didn't want him because they could have traded for him. So it's literally Seattle or bust unless you bring him in to like a New York Giants situation to compete, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
That's astonishing. Listen, I'm not a huge Baker fan, and I don't want to be the guy that defends Baker Mayfield.
You're being that guy, though.
But I'm going to be the guy.
Oh, great.
I mean, Baker Mayfield is better than a lot of different options out there. Now, everybody's got a different situation. Houston's got an interesting situation right now. Baker Mayfield, is he their future? Probably not. They're rebuilding. They're not really ready to do anything, and they want to see what Davis Mills has. So I understand what they're doing, and they might draft somebody. And they don't have to get in the quarterback game yet because they're not ready to. Quite frankly, their roster is not there. So I understand their situation, why they might not go with Baker Mayfield. I mean, Drew Lock or Baker Mayfield, to your point, in Seattle?
Yeah.
And that's a guy in Pete Carroll that has been a lot like New England where, hey, we'll take these guys. We don't care about all that other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so Seattle – so you do think it's Seattle or bust. Is that you thinking, or is that the NFL thinking that way?
It seems like I'm thinking that way, but is there any evidence to support that I'm not the only one thinking that way? Because people are publicly saying, no, we don't want the dude.
Yeah, it's just nuts. Like, Carolina's stupid.
I mean, probably.
I know you like Sam Darnold.
Love him.
But let's be honest. Carolina's dumb. They should be trying everybody.
Yeah, that's fair. But to like Brian Middleton's point, like Carolina Panther fan, so he's been long suffering. He just wants them to draft somebody so they can fully like start anew, if you will. He doesn't want to start with Baker Mayfield, who's not really like, you know what he is.
Yeah. How is Carolina? Like, how's their roster?
I mean, defense is good. Defense is good.
Defense was pretty good last year, right?
Yeah.
And they
I mean, if McCaffrey plays, it's a whole different situation.
Yeah, of course.
And then, DJ Moore's good. Robbie Anderson.
They extended DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson did nothing, but
Terrace Marshall would be the other receiver. Tight end spot, they don't have a lot.
Dan
Offensive
Arnold.
line, yeah.
So
they're middle of the road in a bad division.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I think we know more about what Sam Darnold is than we know Baker Mayfield is. But here's what you don't know about the NFL, what we don't always know, and what we may find out down the road, is that some of these reports that come out of Cleveland or something about him being prima donna or him not being a great teammate, leader, like I have no idea if that stuff's true or not. People throw a lot of stuff out there. But what you might be finding out by the hands-off approach of a lot of different teams that could at least be interested is maybe that stuff's true. With their work and the research and everything else, that maybe that stuff is true, or there's more truth to it than, at least the denials of it. So I just find it fascinating. I think Baker Mayfield's an okay player. Again, I sound like I think he's unbelievable. I don't.
You really do.
I just think they're like, again, if I'm Carolina, I'm going Baker Mayfield all day over Sam Darnold. Just all day. If I'm Seattle, I am doing that. And right now, you could almost get just about anything, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, if you're a team that's going to trade for him and not start him, right? Because if the teams that could start are out and, like, say Baker swallows his pride, pulls a Mitch Trubisky, and sits the bench behind a good quarterback, right? Are you going to pay $18 million for that? No. Are the Browns going to pick up that $18 million when they got a fully guaranteed $250 million deal with Deshaun Watson? So, like, how much are you really willing to pay for backup Baker Mayfield? Definitely not $18 million.
Yeah, well, the Browns are going to, sooner or later, the Browns are just going to cut somebody. Cut him. I'm trying to think, what did Mariota?
I think it's $222. Does that sound right?
If you're paying Marcus Mariota $22 million, so $11 or $12 million a year, then, yeah, Baker Mayfield's worth 18. I mean, $18 million is like getting a pitcher in 2004 that has like a 5.25 ERA. You still paid him $12 million a year.
That's fair.
Because nobody could get anybody out. So the money is just so ridiculous. I mean, $18 million, you know what that tells me? You stink. Like if you're making $18 million at the quarterback position. Now, it does make you a starter. Right? Because there's a big difference between being a backup. It's $5 million a year potentially for a really good one, or 4, and then 3 and 2.5 or something like that. But
all right, Mariota's 18.75. So
for the whole thing?
For the whole
thing. So he's
thing.
like $9 million a year.
Yeah.
And he would be starting nowhere else in the league.
Nah, they think, part of it's the Arthur Smith thing from Tennessee.
Yeah, that could be.
Hey. He's another guy that swallowed his pride and was a backup.
Listen, I don't think Mariota's like the worst guy ever to play quarterback. I just think you talk about what he is and you know where your ceiling is with him. I think it's you can win some games, but you're probably not going too far. And
they could do some cool stuff though with him and Patterson.
They probably could. They'd be very creative. And he'll have some weapons like a Kyle Pitts, of course. So the quarterback, are we going to see any other domino fall in the quarterback world? Because, again, I start the show with saying it's pretty quiet today on the quarterback front. And it seemed like for the last 2.5 weeks we've got quarterback news every day. They should have saved Jameis Winston going back to the Saints today.
Yeah.
I mean, spread it out. Come on, Saints.
They probably just want to slide it under the radar.
It's really interesting how quickly, actually Atlanta respond. They obviously had a few days to think about what would go on. They thought they were in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Then they had plan B. Okay, do we keep Matt Ryan? Okay, the phone's ringing for Indianapolis. Okay, let's go get Marcus Mariota. So they had some time to think about it. Baker Mayfield, it's crazy to think that he might not be a starting quarterback in 2022.
Yeah.
Just crazy to think.
And Drew Lock might be.
And Drew Lock and Marcus Mariota. And Sam Darnold.
And Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. I mean, that's nuts.
It's crazy. I mean.
And by the way, if you're Carolina or whoever else, like you said, Middleton last night, actually Sports Jax OT, saying, hey, I'd rather go see what they have in the draft. Well, the guy you have in the draft miraculously had his hands grow.
Yes,
yesterday, so that's good.
But
he also has the smallest hands in the history of the NFL at the quarterback position.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Somewhere along the way, the hand size has got to be an issue because it would never get this much attention.
It's dumb. I don't understand why we're so infatuated with it.
I don't either, but
hey, if the hands are growing, that's really all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
That's all that matters.
Old Kenny Two Gloves.
Trubisky, Mariota, Darnold, Locke. Anybody else fit in that category of, oh, my gosh, I can't believe they're starting quarterback? I mean, Winston doesn't fit there, in my opinion.
I mean, depending on how you feel about Davis Mills.
Yeah, but I get that. I get what they're doing there.
Carson Wentz. No,
yeah, I wouldn't say Carson.
That's pretty much it.
Mariota, Darnold, Locke. That's just amazing. Who out of those four, by the way, will emerge as actually a pretty decent player in this second chance, second life, if you will, at the quarterback spot? Now, listen, Darnold, I'm giving him kind of a third life potentially if they do stick with him because last year was atrocious.
It was horrible, yeah. I'm going Trubisky. I think that's easy. Not just because he's on the best team, but he was not great for Chicago, but at the same time, when he left, we saw how horrible they were, and Matt Nagy got fired because of how bad of a coach he was. But with Trubisky, they went to the playoffs. So I think Trubisky learned a lot in Buffalo. I think he was not horrible with Chicago. He just got, a bad rep. Was he fantastic? Absolutely not. Should he have been the second pick in the draft? Also no. But I think he's learned a little bit. I think he has enough talent to show he's going to be good. Pittsburgh has the weapons for him. I think Trubisky.
Yeah, the people are high on Trubisky. Noah, who's going to sit in 4 o'clock hour, just texted me, said Tomlin had dinner with Malik Willis. So last couple of days. So there they go. They could go after Malik Willis. That'd be a nice fit. It'd be really different. It'd be a different style to get Willis who can – I don't see Ben Roethlisberger could move early in his career, but he wasn't like a dual threat guy. He could move. Right? It's a weird fit. They seem so traditional in Pittsburgh. But I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. I mean, you need to evolve. To me, I hate the statue quarterback now. I've got to the point where I don't like that. That's why I'm not afraid of Matt Ryan.
Yep.
I don't think Carson Wentz moves very well anymore.
Yep.
Ben Roethlisberger aged out in a hurry because he couldn't move.
He could barely get on the field from the sidelines.
And so I think the guy that can get away with it still because he's really smart and he knows how to play the position better than anybody in the history of the game probably, and he still has a heck of a fastball to make up for it is Brady. And even Brady probably feels like he moves a little bit better to dodge big hits and sacks. He's just not going to move. Some of those guys just don't feel like they're moving at all. I told you yesterday, Matt Ryan feels like he plays in slow motion. So it's an interesting dynamic. It would be almost like a shock to the system, I think, up in Pittsburgh if they were to get this dual threat player in a Malik Willis.
I mean, Trubisky can move.
He can. You're right. He can run a little.
It's going to be like the appetizer before if they draft Malik Willis.
That's true. It'll be a different level, right? Yeah. It's kind of like all in. Malik Willis, fun player too.
Yeah.
It could be really fun. But again, it's just an odd fit to me in Pittsburgh because it's been such a traditional place to play, and it's worked for so long. So I still can't get over that, folks, that Trubisky, Mariota, Darnold, Locke could start. Baker Mayfield can't find a team. I guess perception does matter, too, in all of this. Or if he's not a great teammate, be a good teammate. That CEO part of that position is so important. And if you have anything to take away from what people feel you can be a leader of the organization and team, then I think it's a dangerous place to be. I got another one for you.
What you got?
Why isn't Gardner Minshew going anywhere?
I actually just thought about that before you said it.
Like, why wouldn't Carolina not interested in Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, that's actually a good call. He's played a lot of football. He's been good. If I'm Gardner, though, well, I'd obviously want to start. But I think Philly's a good spot if you're not going to go start at Carolina, obviously. But that's an interesting call.
I think he's in an okay place. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I haven't heard his name once.
But you want to be fun in the NFL, though? If McCaffrey were to stay healthy and play, Gardner Minshew and McCaffrey, it's kind of fun. And not like McCaffrey's not a personality guy, but his game has a ton of personality to it. And so
it's a heck of a call. You won games in Jacksonville. Ain't nobody does that.
The thing about Minshew, go ahead. If you want, go ahead and look up his numbers. Minshew's numbers are strong in the NFL. Strong. Like, you can really make the case. Size, limited in some spots. People are more critical of his play than some other folks. I'm a fan of Gardner. I think he can win in this league. And, again, if you're rolling out, maybe somebody sees this in Trubisky. Trubisky's actually record in numbers is better than his perception in Chicago. He's another guy like that. But if you, like, Drew Lock hasn't done enough for me. Like, I think Gardner Minshew's done more than Drew Lock.
100%.
In the small sample. So I don't fully, and Darnold again. Like, what's crazy to me in Carolina is, what are they going on, year 3 for Rule?
Yep.
Or 4? 3?
3.
So 3 for Rule, and you've got some talent, and that locker room has to walk in and be like, Sam Darnold's the guy?
Yep.
Like, we're supposed to do what? Like, where's our expectation level? Like, Sam's a good dude, but, like, we saw that last year. We thought that it was be a rebirth for him, and it really wasn't.
Yeah.
He battled some injuries, everything else. So it's hard to pick Sam Darnold out of that and say, wow, he could make a run. I just think like a Gardner Minshew to Carolina makes some sense to me. I mean, Baker Mayfield, too, makes some sense to me, at least to do a little bit of what Indianapolis is doing. See, Indianapolis is throwing darts at the QB board, and they're just saying, all right, this guy doesn't work. See you. Get him out. Boom. Let's try this one. Boom. Let's try this one. They've done that for the last 7 years, 6 years. They've had new guys in, and they've got bigger names. I mean, they've had Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz a big name, and now Matt Ryan's a big name. But I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Yeah. If I was Carolina, too, also, Jimmy G, but I guess he's staying.
Well, yeah.
I'm done on Jimmy G. I'm just going to assume he's playing for the 49ers, and Trey Lance is not. That's just where I'm at.
I don't get what's going on in San Francisco.
Because you're not going to trade him to Seattle, likely. I mean, there'd be no point for Seattle to want him either. So Carolina makes sense, but it just...
We've done this the last couple of days on the show and probably even going into last week. Is there nothing... Am I just missing it? Is there nothing coming out of San Francisco on the Jimmy G front? Like, we had the combine and we had free agency, and usually that's when a lot of rumblings will come out about these guys, and that's why we saw a lot of movement with the quarterback position. But it's been, like, really quiet on the Jimmy G front.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't imagine you would trade what you traded to
Trey
go
Lance,
get Trey Lance. And I'm not saying Jimmy G's a bad option, but now your investment in the quarterback position between what you're paying with Garoppolo, stunting the growth of Trey Lance, and what you gave up to get Trey Lance, and you don't even know if he's any good, sooner or later you better find out.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that team really – do you wonder if that team really likes Garoppolo and they sense that? Does Lynch and Shanahan sense they believe in this guy?
It's a good call because, I mean, that's – obviously, you lose a Super Bowl, and then
they're good.
You're right there, exactly. So you could see them vouching for him to still be their quarterback. That's a good call. You're going into Jordan Love territory, except it's a lot worse with Trey Lance if that's how you want to do it with Jimmy G and you keep him and pull in Aaron Rodgers and do all that. But it's not like Jimmy G's great. Maybe he's a great leader and we just don't realize it. But
I think Jimmy G's okay, though. I really do. I think he's a pretty good player.
No, I do too, but, man, give up all that capital for the third pick and then not play him.
By the way, what's his contract now? Is he like $26, $27 million a year type of guy, which again, is a bargain. That's less than Devontae Adams for the quarterback position. Like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but if you're paying less than $30 million a year for your quarterback and he's giving you decent results, that's actually a bargain in today's world.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty good deal. Like, that's not setting you back. And maybe they're looking at the position like that. Maybe they're looking at, hey, we're paying Jimmy G, whatever we're paying him, 25, 27, 28 million, and we're paying Trey Lance like rookie salary. So we're kind of like morphed the position and we're okay numbers-wise. We're not spending $70 million on the quarterback position.
26.9 for Jimmy G.
Yeah, so you added up, they're probably together making, what, like $35 million or something like that?
I mean, it's his last year of the deal. Is it a run it back scenario?
Is this the last year?
Yes. It was a 5-year.
That's one other thing I'm surprised that nobody would trade for him. It's the last year. It's a very, as long as the cost to trade for him is not much, well, maybe his agent wants to rip up the deal if he moves. Well, I don't know if he has that luxury. He might not even start.
True.
If he wants to go play somewhere, he's got to show me chance.
I just think back to the playoffs when we played that sound of Shanahan literally saying, like, goodbye to him. Remember that? That random goodbye Jimmy G sound. I'm like, well, and now it's like, never mind.
Which, again, I would say makes you wonder if they like him inside that building more than other people like him outside the building, or the perception that he was going to be gone. So, hey, let's take a break. First one of the day. I got a question for you. Kind of philosophical question here on a Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
This one goes deep. I was thinking of it the other day, mostly because of my Providence Friars going to the Sweet 16. I've really jumped on the bandwagon lately.
Good for you.
Which is fine. But I will say, I mean, part of my childhood, Providence Friars. So, why do you love sports? Like, what made you get into loving sports? Because I'm going to give you, like, a specific example.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I know where it came from for me. But so many of us are passionate about sports. Is it because your dad, your parents, your brother? Did you watch a game when you were 7? Did you go to a game when you were 9? Like, why do you like it? It's a very simplistic question, and I bet a lot of people have different answers for it, how we become so passionate about the game. So we'll sprinkle that in throughout the show, and we also have some brackets.
All kinds of
golf
brackets.
picks, we're doing bracket. Now, we're not going to go through the entire Austin bracket. I'm not talking Austin Lane. I'm talking Austin, Texas.
Right.
But we will give it like a Final Four, and that's how we're doing our golf picks today. Plus, we have the perfect brackets, so we get to pick the Sweet 16 on in.
I like it.
We get a clean slate.
Oh, I need one.
Who's going to win the NCAA tournament?
Not Tennessee, tell you that.
I want you to also think about this. Best position group for the Jags. Worst position group for the Jags. Biggest holes left for the Jacksonville Jaguars going into the draft.
It's a lot to think about. I only got 5 minutes.
Listen, we got a lot to think about and talk about. We come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Plenty of sun and warm temperatures today, reaching the lower 80s this afternoon, cooler at the beaches, and then only dropping into the 60s tonight. Clouds will move in tomorrow, along with some afternoon showers and a few thunderstorms. Your Wednesday high up to 83. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Beards Diamonds is locally owned, which means the owners are always on premise to give you the absolute lowest price.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for golf fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PIPE for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code PIPE.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
We're out of the brand name, but we do have the generic version of
Serene's Pharmacy can't keep up with allergy season.
Who's next in line?
They need certified technicians to alleviate the headache.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry for the wait. We'll have your prescription filled soon. I need some help.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
I think Seattle would be the best spot for him, and here's why. Because Pete Carroll doesn't mind conflict. He likes that stuff, like that what Baker brings, that conflict, that I don't want to say arrogance, but that confident approach.
Cocky, yeah.
I don't want to use that word. I don't want to. That's why you see I danced around it.
Yeah.
And I use confident.
Well, it does hover right on that verge, Key. You know what I mean?
But I know how people will treat you because I've been there. Where as a player, where you all of a sudden become confident and cocky.
That is Keyshawn Johnson, Max Kellerman, Jay Williams. Every morning, ESPN 690, 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. Here from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Austin out snowboarding. Special guest coming in the 4 o'clock hour. We're doing some guests 4 o'clock hour. I think Brian Middleton, did he approve our request?
Oh, yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah, he'll be in tomorrow. We going down to Divoli's tomorrow?
Oh, yeah,
I missed the card opening, man. Been 2 weeks. I feel like it's been 3 months.
You need your fix.
I do. I mean, the bracket has only held me over so much, especially now that I'm out of every survivor pool.
Amen.
And so we'll be down to Divoli's House of Cards tomorrow. I think Casey's coming down there with me.
My slide.
That's it. And I was trying to digest Mike's slide. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
It
means I'll probably show up.
Oh, I know what it means. Yeah, I was just
Okay.
trying to think if I was kind of like, as I was listening to it, I was like, would I ever say that? Probably not. Probably not. But I don't say like that's fire very often, and you do.
Yeah, it's pretty normal in the vocab. Absolutely. Slide and fire and make their way out.
So anyway, we'll be down at Divoli's House of Cards. Come on by. Down in St. Johns County, 210, 3 to 6 tomorrow. Maybe we'll
slide on by.
Slide on by. Maybe we'll have pack battles. They return.
Oh, boy.
If by the way, if Casey's going down with the cars, look out.
I might yell at some kids.
I don't yell at some kids. Might be buying everything in sight. Get ready, Mark Divoli.
Oh, boy.
Hope you're fully stocked.
I'm sure he is. He always is.
I got a lot of stuff down there.
A lot of stuff.
At Divoli's House of Cards. All right, I asked a question on social media, and we asked this in the title of the show today, too.
Yeah, we did.
And it's a very simplistic question, but I was thinking of this around the Providence Friars when I was thinking of the Sweet 16, and then I was going back. I couldn't believe it had been 25 years since the last time they went to the Sweet 16. When I was in 1987, they went to the Final Four. I was Rick Pitino, Billy Donovan. Like, I was a kid. I was 10 years old, 9 years old, probably around this time, and about to be 10. And it was awesome. Like, you could feel it. Because here's the thing. In Providence, where I grew up, in East Providence, we're like a secondary market to Boston.
Yeah.
Right? So the Celtics are good. You feel it because everybody likes the Celtics. And they were when I was a kid. The Red Sox were good. You feel it because everybody likes the Red Sox. I mean, more than anything at that time, the Red Sox were king, even when the Celtics playing well.
Weren't they bad?
Well, in 86, they weren't. And so they would pop up from time to time. But, I mean, you got Boggs and Clemens. And
True.
I mean, you had some big names. So, and now the Patriots were, who cares? Seriously.
Still have a hard time believing that.
It's amazing. But the Patriots were, who cares? Fourth fiddle by far. Bruins were ahead of them.
Oh.
And so that's what you have. Like, that's the scene. But everything's like Boston, right? It's Boston, Boston, Boston. Meanwhile, in Providence, you're still getting a lot of that. You're reading about it. They're covering it. I'm not covering it at the time. I'm like 9 or 10. But the one moment that felt like, wow, this is like our moment in Providence was the Friars. Now, Rhode Island, too, would feel the same way often, but it's Providence Friars still ring a little louder than URI. But every couple of years, URI would show up. So it would be like a couple of years, Providence would go, and then they maybe make a little noise, and then 3 years later, Rhode Island's doing it. Then 3 years later, it's Providence, then it's Rhode Island. Had Lamar Odom at Rhode Island as you get into the 90s, and they had some really good Catino Mobley and players like that, really good players at Rhode Island. So there was a stretch there where it felt like they were going quite a bit. Now I don't think Rhodey's gone in quite a while, though. Maybe a couple years ago, Hurley, who's now coaching UConn, had him in the tournament looking pretty good. But at that time, Providence, like you would go to gas stations. I always bring up this. Go to a gas station in 1987 in March, and Providence is making noise. And Billy Donovan and Rick Pitino are like the talk of not only the town, but probably a little bit the country, because Billy D's really fun, right? I mean, he's just this little white guy shooter, and just he's Billy the Kid. That's what they called him, Billy the Kid. So I remember going to the gas station. They had this shirt. I don't know if it was before or after the Final Four, but they had this shirt, and it had the picture of all the players. And Pitino, like a little caricature of them on the shirt. And that was, like, I remember my mom buying it at a gas station or something. I could go fill up for gas, and they had that shirt. But that's like, that was like the real deal at the time. And so as I think back to this question of, like, when did you really fall in love with sports? I remember going to my first game when I was like 7, and I really remember watching sports when I was like 7. 84 was Dolphins and San Francisco. Well, I kind of fell in love with the Dolphins and Dan Marino. They were in the Super Bowl, right? Marino was like the big thing, so I was front running for sure. Yep. Patriots stunk.
You do what you got to do.
Larry Bird and all that stuff. But even I had gone to my first game was the Detroit Tigers. My aunt lived in Detroit or in the Michigan area. And so we went and visited them. My first game ever was in Detroit. And so when I was probably like 6. Mm-hmm. And then the Tigers made the World Series in 84 against the Padres. And so that's when I first remember seeing sports. You know what else happened in 84? That was Doug Flutie. Hail Mary.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And Flutie captures the attention of everybody just from down the road. I remember staying in line for like 2.5 hours. My parents brought me to Caldor Shoes. That's what it was. I don't even know if they still exist. But we waited 2.5 hours for Doug Flutie's autograph.
Nice.
See, like you do that a lot. That was the only time I've ever waited in line for an autograph.
Was it worth it?
It was.
There you go.
And actually, I'll tell you a little sidebar story to that.
What you got?
So Brent's like 7 years old, and I was more excited actually in that time to meet like the local sportscaster.
You're weird, bro.
Because we saw him there covering the event.
I'm not surprised, though.
And I met him. I was like, that's what I really remembered from the day, more than even meeting Flutie.
That's good.
But I would have been, what, 7? Yeah, I was like 7-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe Flutie came like the following year, so it could have been 8. But
under 10 for sure.
Under 10. So, but really when I'm 9 or 10, really an impressionable age, I would imagine for many in terms of what you're doing, what you're interested in, and what you're watching on TV. Well, that's when in Boston, the Celtics and Lakers stuff was going strong. Larry Bird was king. And the Red Sox actually were good.
Yeah.
Because they made it to the World Series and then lost, the whole Billy Buckner thing, which was as dramatic as you can get, which really started with the Anaheim Angels and Henderson hitting the 3-run homer and all that stuff. Even the Patriots, who I wasn't like this massive Patriots fan, but they were still in my hometown, and they finally were. It was like the one time they were good in my childhood. They got crushed by Chicago, and so I'm thinking, and then Providence. So I'm thinking at that time, that's when I became probably like a sports fan.
Yeah.
Right? That's when you're really impressionable and all these things. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, this is all happening here. You're reading about it in the paper. I know, kids, you don't know what that is, but like reading box scores and stuff. I was probably learning to read at the same time.
There you go.
So I think that's what it was for me. How about for you?
Yeah.
But let me add one more thing before
Please
you say.
do.
Like, my parents are not sports fans.
Oh, that's right.
Like, not at all. Like, my dad took me to sports games, and I thank him for doing it, but he didn't really want to. He had tickets because he was in, like, the sales business at the time. And so if somebody would, like, cancel, like, he had good tickets. Like, he could go to the Patriots game, the Red Sox games, Celtics games, Bruins games, like, with his work. And he was in the trucking industry, and he was doing sales. And they did a lot of that back then. Entertaining, I guess you would call it. They don't do that anymore, I don't think, in the sales business. But they used to do it a lot. And so if somebody would cancel, like that day, he'd have these tickets, and he'd take me.
That's dope.
I mean, so I saw a lot of good games. But, like, my dad would sit here and tell you right now he didn't really want to go. But he was just, like, taking me because he knew I liked it and thought it might be a cool thing. But he's not a sports fan. Like,
good dad right there.
You couldn't even – my mom and dad – my mom's still, like, she calls and talks about the Jags, and if I get her to say touchdown sometimes, I'm like, I celebrate it.
It's a W.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. Like, that had to be it, right? My neighbors were, and we played – like, obviously we had buddies that were sports fans, but it wasn't an impressionable thing from parents, which I think a lot of people are. I got to believe my kids are sports fans because Steph and I are kind of into sports, so we probably had it on the TV.
Yeah.
But that didn't work out that way for me. How about for you?
Yeah, so my parents did love sports. They named me in Valparaiso, Indiana, after this dude that played for the Valparaiso University basketball team, not one of the Drew brothers, because obviously my name's Casey. But I think his name was like Casey Jones or something. I don't remember exactly, but it's spelled with a K, so that's how I got my name. So I was pretty much destined to like sports. But in terms of like when we lived up in Indiana, I know the first game I ever went to was a Cubs game. There's a picture of me sleeping in the back of the car. Don't remember the moment, remember the picture. First moment I remember from sports is we went to a White Sox game, which was I don't know why we went because, my dad's a Cubs fan. We hate the White Sox. But here's what I remember. Don't remember the game. Got a yellow foam finger with the White Sox logo on it.
That's awesome.
And outside they were doing fireworks. So I remember the foam finger and the fireworks walking to the car. That was pretty cool. But my dad was a photographer for NASCAR as well as this magazine in New York. So the first team that I ever, the first thing that ever really got me into sports was my dad would go to these Yankees, Mets stuff and photographs. So he did more Yankees. So my first memories besides those are when the Yankees blew the 3-0 lead in 2004.
Oh,
I remember that.
Beautiful.
Vividly.
Beautiful. Highlight of my life.
Yeah, so that's why I like Derek
Sorry,
Jeter,
kids.
by the way, because my dad was always around the Yankee stuff, so I always saw the Yankee stuff. And then I remember the first time I was allowed to stay up late and past my bedtime was the Gators national championship against Ohio State. And pretty much from that, those are the kind of the things that made me into what I was. And then obviously, I started playing baseball when I was 3, so I didn't really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? I was pretty much locked in from the get-go. But those are kind of the moments that stand out that, make me think, yeah, this moment. And then I guess the last one, we moved to Florida, went to spring training for the first time. My dad's, company was in, a little on-side field box. I was a kid. And I got Jim Tomei's autograph.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's probably where multiple
stuff,
things
right?
started, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how there's no doubt the star players get you into it,
Yeah.
I mean, and I found that, listen, I love Larry Bird. I loved Wade Boggs until he was with Yankee. Then I really liked Nomar Garciaparra later.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan Marino, it was more players than it was even the teams.
Yeah.
And even around the Providence Friars at that time, it was Billy Donovan, it was Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
All that.
I also loved Hideki Matsui, by the way. That was my first ever baseball jersey.
Really?
Yep.
Matsui. That's a unique first.
Yeah. I loved him.
Jersey.
Dude was awesome.
See, and that's one thing I never got into is, we're going to Davoli's House of Cards. I was got into big in the baseball cards and those kind of things, but never into the jersey part of it, the memorabilia side of it. I do wonder now, today's day and age, how people, I would imagine the parents are the biggest influence on kids becoming sports fans because, again, I don't know this. This is weird for us because, Ty does go out and play hoops and they'll go play football and they'll go play with buddies.
Yeah.
But most people will tell you that kids don't go play ball anymore in the neighborhood. They just don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I grew up in an era where that was that's what we did. Day in, day out, we kept stats. We had leagues. We had,
Same.
It was crazy.
We did that.
Right?
Yeah.
We were really probably nerdy about it, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And front yard, backyard, middle of the street, 2-hand touch, wiffle ball. There were seasons for us,
My dad planted a home plate in our backyard because we played wiffle ball.
So you did, and you're, at the age you are.
Yeah, even through I would say even in high school, we had a basketball hoop, obviously, like everybody does, but we could drive. I can tell you we could drive because my friend Shane, love Shane, but he lived at the front of the neighborhood. He was too lazy to walk. So he drove his car down so we could hoop in his Miami Heat Shaquille O'Neal jersey. That's my guy, Shane. But to your point, yeah, we could drive. So we were doing it all the way up until pretty much the end of high school.
Wow. Ty, and I think Ty maybe it was Kaylee, showing me, do you see they have a wiffle ball league that they have on
it's
YouTube?
Awesome.
And those guys are stars. We all did that. We could have done that.
Yeah. We should still try to get in.
Probably should.
If I could figure out how to spin it like them, you know what I'm saying? Stuff's nasty.
It is crazy. They showed me a little bit of it, but they get hundreds of thousands of views for playing wiffle ball in their backyard, and they've created a whole league and merchandise, and it's unreal. But that's what everybody used to do. So I do wonder. I think people say that kids don't play anymore, and then they do the video game thing and blah blah blah. I wonder if that's as factual as we think. I see I see plenty of kids down at the ball field. I don't do the numbers. I don't know what the percentages are. I see them playing hoops, playing wiffle. Everybody loves to play wiffle ball still. It feels like if you roll it out there, probably not to the degree because of the demands on kids and the lifestyle changes, probably families and everything else. But I still think it's probably more prevalent than people give it credit for. I think it's an easy way out. A lot of people like to label whether it's the millennials or younger generations, and video games certainly are king now.
Yeah, but
that has changed. But
the thing that's always annoying me about that is they're not mutually exclusive. You can do both, believe it or not.
That's the thing. We played video games as a kid too, and
exactly.
I remember playing quite a bit of video games. Not as much as probably today's kid, but
Like, if you lose in real life basketball, the only thing you can do is challenge the dude to some 2K. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't lose both. You gotta try.
You gotta find something you're good at.
I'm saying, like, well, I'd lose in basketball, but you don't want to see me in MLB The Show. Nobody will play me.
So anyway, the story is, if you got any, just even on social media, YouTube or Twitter, or you're always welcome to call in 904-362-9901. I was just thinking of it. More from a personal standpoint, when you started to get into sports, like what was the influence of sports and why do you still love it? And maybe listen to the show because you like sports, right? I mean, that's what we do. We talk about it. We live it. You do it at the water cooler. You do it at home. You're watching it at home. And where did it all begin? I think it's kind of a very simplistic but fascinating question nonetheless. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. A little more hard-hitting, less philosophical topics on the way.
For the second season in a row, ESPN 690 is proud to be the official station of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Starting in April, hear all Jumbo Shrimp games on ESPN 690, ESPN690.com, and our Facebook page, ESPN 690 Jax. No matter what happens with Major League Baseball, the Jumbo Shrimp season will start on April 5th. So if you can't make it out to the ballpark, we will have every game all season long right here on ESPN 690.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There is a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
If you've been involved in a slip and fall accident and are not sure what to do, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville. Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. You know, maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
The following is an actor portrayal. I was ready to sell my car, so I took it back to the same dealership I bought it from. But the offer wasn't great. I saw ACV Auctions was in town, so I took it there, and I'm so glad I did. My car got multiple bids, and one was for $5,000 more than my dealership offered.
ACV Auctions is hosting a live appraisal event for luxury vehicles on Friday and Saturday, April 8th and 9th at 9910 Atlantic Boulevard. Proudly hosted by Tom Bush Family of Dealerships.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. It means that when you hire us, you get a legal army. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
How do you make the most of your mow? Tony and Melissa do it on a John Deere Z530M Z-Track mower.
Jump out of the house, a cup of coffee, and I'm at work.
You're riding around, it's like going on a go-kart.
And for Rodney, he uses his John Deere X350 lawn tractor to turn his yard into
my happy place. It's a great place to do Tai Chi. I work on my mind, body, and well-being.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your mow. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey, you see Tony's face?
Yeah, he's using one of them Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razors with 6 stainless steel blades for a close shave. His face is as smooth as a river rock.
Smooth as a nice olive oil.
Like a bowling ball.
Like silk pajamas.
Like a seal down at the aquarium.
Like a ball of wax.
Wax job?
Hey, no one said nothing about a wax job, okay? Quit being a wise guy.
Dollar Shave Club. For a noticeably smooth shave. Find us in stores and at dollarshaveclub.com.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime.
Yeah!
And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You know, I think you have to have an appreciation for stability. And I think as an organization, we do have that stability right now. As it pertains to Kyler on the field, he loves to be competitive. He loves to lead. And I think he's continuing to mature. He's matured since I've gotten here, and that was in 2020. And I can see that maturation continuing to happen, the way in which he spends time with his teammates outside of the building, the way in which he's asking more of his teammates, the way in which he's spending more time in the film room with the coaches. He's maturing. He still has a ways to go, but he's really starting to turn that corner of maturing and being the franchise leader that I think we all want to see.
Yeah, I asked earlier in the show. I don't know who that was specifically. Is it? It didn't sound like Kingsbury.
Nope. That was offensive tackle again.
Oh, was that Beachum?
Yes.
Kelvin Beachum? Kelvin Beachum's a good dude. Played for the Jags.
It was a heck of a pull, though. All I said was offensive tackle.
Wow, when she, now I did recognize
the
what
voice,
she said.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I just saw Brian Anger is re-signing with the Cowboys.
Oh, good.
3 years, $9 million.
It's not a bad gig.
You really think about some of the players that are out there that actually the Jags did well on they had them on their roster. Okay, the Anger thing is totally misconstrued by the whole Russell Wilson and why'd you pick a punter in the 3rd round. But it's interesting to think about a guy like Beachum, who's had an unbelievable career now. And the Jags didn't invest in him on the offensive line. They're like, nah, thanks, we're good. Yeah. But the Arizona Cardinals had, I forget the exact circumstances around Beachum, but I remember, I want to say, they thought he might have been on the smaller side to be a tackle. And now he's played in the league, and I think he was Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. He's a really good dude. But I was thinking of Anger. You think of a guy like Tyson Alualu, who's played really well. the Jaguars have had players that, and again, this happens in the league. You can't keep everybody. And I'm not saying, well, now you start adding up like the Jans and the Ramseys. You know, you used to, when I first got to town, for the first few years, you couldn't even make a list of players that were on other teams that had been on the Jags. I'm not kidding. Like, it was really hard to find players that had played for the Jags that, quite frankly, weren't either on practice squads or out of the league. Like, that's real. But now, this is where you could tell Dave Caldwell did beef up the amount of talent they had on the roster, because the Jags have done a poor job of keeping their talent at times, especially that stretch where they went through. But when they release guys, they actually go and play for other teams. Like, now you can actually do like almost an all-star team from the players that used to play for the Jags, which I don't think is a bad sign. If you take the Baltimore Ravens, you can probably do the same thing. Sure. If you take, name your team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can probably do the same thing. You're not going to keep everybody. But the fact that at least they're getting more talented players is a little bit better from my perspective than the first few years.
Yeah, it's better that, I guess, that people want your other players than not wanting them, to your point.
I'm trying to think of a player that the Jags wish they didn't get rid of, minus the whole Jan and Ramsey thing. And I'm wondering if Beachum is high on that list.
That's a good call. By the way, I had some conversations with Pittsburgh Steelers fans. They're pretty happy with Tyson.
Well, now they're happy with Tyson. They should be happy about Myles Jack. Don't you get the sense that Myles Jack will do well? Yeah. Don't you think that, like, Mike Tomlin's going to get the most out of Myles Jack, and he's going to play well there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Myles Jack's still a good player. They, like you've said a couple times, they did him a couple of disservices by how they used him, and I think Pittsburgh understands how to use their players because they get the most out of them. So now I guess it's him and Joe Schobert. Ain't that something?
Did they release Schobert?
Did they?
I heard that they might release Schobert, or they did. We'll see. I wonder, Beachum's an interesting one for me. I wonder if the Jags I wonder if they could have solved and not had to worry about or would they have always been trying to upgrade it anyway at the left tackle position? But Kelvin Beachum has had a nice career, and good for him. Like I said, he's a pretty good dude. All right, let's take a break. We come back, welcome in our guest of the day. We talk, here's where I want to go. We got brackets to do, first of all. Well, not first, but at some point. And we got football at 5, so we got plenty of time. Best position on the Jags right now. Best position group. Did this on TV the other night. Hope you watched, but if you didn't, we'll talk more about it. Best position group on the Jags, worst position group on the Jags, and the biggest holes that the draft will identify now that this free agency period's over with.
Mine are going to surprise you. Guaranteed.
That'll be. I think they're debatable, honestly. I think there's some debate to be had, and, well, that's why I bring it up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. 4 o'clock hour coming up next.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PIPE for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code PIPE.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school, or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead, so you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
All offers with approved credit and not a conjunction. See dealer for complete details.
It's Ram Truck Month, so trade in that old car or truck you don't like driving anymore and trade up to a new Ram from Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside. We've got a great selection in stock that new truck buyers will love. But if for some reason you don't see just the right one for you, we're ready to order it and give you a great deal. Get the new Ram truck you want and save. Our lenders are ready and waiting to make you a new car loan. Rates as low as 0% are still available. Come to I-295 and Commonwealth Avenue for a test drive. We'll have the car, truck, SUV, or minivan you've been waiting for. We're devoted to our customers, returning or new. We'll make every effort to provide the very best in sales and customer service. Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Westside.
It's easy to get here.
I-295 and Commonwealth Avenue.
Westside.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Colts reporter Mike Wells.
I don't think the Colts really had an interest in Baker Mayfield. I mean, you think about all the things you heard out of Cleveland, from a leadership standpoint. They dealt with that last year with Carson Wentz. And Baker Mayfield makes a lot of mistakes. The Colts really weren't in the mix for Baker Mayfield.
Mike Wells on Barton Hahn. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Adam Schefter, outside linebackers Darius Smith agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Vikings. New York City Mayor Eric Adams today reiterated that while he does remain optimistic about the COVID-related numbers he's seeing, the city's professional sports teams are going to have to wait their turn as far as potential vaccination mandate rollbacks are concerned. As part of the current mandate, players who are not vaccinated are unable to play in New York City.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
In my opinion, if you're looking at this situation, if you're general manager Andrew Berry, I don't know that I necessarily am in a rush to deal Baker Mayfield, and I know how crazy that sounds. But the Cleveland Browns already have their QB1. They got their backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. Right now, Baker Mayfield is third on the depth chart. And it seems like there's only one team that will be vying for his services at this point in the offseason.
And that
what's the harm if you're Cleveland in waiting until there's more of a market for Baker Mayfield?
I was more interested in what he was saying and not the voice. Was that Spears?
Nah, you know it's a good take. So who was it?
Oh, that's your guy, Canty.
You better believe
it. Dang it, I should have known that. I lost track because I was thinking he's a third string quarterback. Can you imagine at the end of the day if that's what he is? Like if they kept him on there just to bust his chops as a third string guy.
That'd be good. I wouldn't be mad at it.
No, they'll never do it, but it would be he's not that bad a guy, is he? I mean, come on.
He has to be.
I think he's one of these guys that gets painted worse than he is.
I don't think so.
Those insurance commercials would get really interesting as the third stringer.
That's what I'm saying. They should have one of him moving out, like when he has to pack his stuff. Bye, Baker.
That would be good. That'd be good. That's the voice of Noah Schlicksup. He's our guest today. Get him closer to that mic, will you? You got to be loud and proud like Austin Lane.
You can move it around if you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I feel honored. Let's see, it was the UNF head basketball coach here yesterday.
Yeah, Matthew Driscoll was here yesterday. We're actually just going for anybody smaller than Austin to come in that chair right now.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yeah, we have. If you don't know Noah, this is an annual thing now, pal.
I guess so.
Yeah. Austin goes away in March. Last year it was during the Players' Championship.
Yeah, I'm not
right?
complaining about that. That was interesting. That was fun.
And you joined me for the show. And now we've got Austin gone again. And it's not that we can't replace Austin or we can't fill it in. We're just kind of having some fun this week. We have Driscoll stop by. Noah stop by. Middleton will stop by tomorrow for some of the show. A little extra OT.
There you go.
It's like this is the kind of OT that some people in the NFL want.
Both teams get the ball.
Both teams get the ball
exactly.
tomorrow on the show. So Noah's 15 now. So if you don't know Noah's story, which you should, but you got to follow him on YouTube.
And
By the
Twitter.
way, David Faraday interview did well.
Yeah, that was crazy because I was just, especially on YouTube, that's where it really took off. It's got over 12,000 views last time I checked.
Yeah, I looked today. It does.
It was absolutely crazy because I just interviewed him on the red carpet. I'm going to be completely honest. I did not know who he was when I did that interview.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know who David Faraday was.
How would he?
I've heard him before. I played the
awesome.
Tiger Woods golf game. I still do.
Yes.
I just didn't know
That's great. That's
who the
awesome.
voice was. I didn't know who David Faraday was, so I did a quick Google search, and guy seemed important, so did a quick Google search. Saw he was a former golfer and currently on the Golf Channel, so asked him a couple questions just based off that, and did pretty well.
By the way,
fantastic.
that is great. By the way, you're going to make it in this business. That's what everybody does now.
That's true.
Just Google on the red carpet. And part of the you probably didn't know he was coming. That was the Tiger Hall of Fame day, so nobody knew exactly who was going to be on the red carpet.
Well,
Right.
he was the host that night, so
I know, yeah, but I wouldn't have thought he would stop by and talk to people. I guess it makes sense, but I didn't know the exact setup even that day. But Faraday's really a funny guy, and he's one of the great characters really in golf. So he was good.
Yep.
A guy like Faraday's interesting to interview because you never know if he's going to be serious all the time or kind of is he trying to bust your chops a little bit.
He was a good
He was
guy.
pretty serious in your interview.
Well, here's the funny thing. So I actually cut it off for a reason. It cuts off pretty quick at the end. Well, that's because I was trying to form another question. I lost my words in the middle of it, and I just said, all right, I'm just going to cut this off. And he just started laughing and goes, I have been there, man.
That's good.
Just in that David Faraday
cleaned it up.
golden accent voice.
You edited. That's good. Good stuff. So anyway, Noah is from Iowa. Moved here, a couple years ago now?
Yeah, 2 years now.
Yeah.
Right at the start of COVID.
So the story with Noah, how I didn't meet Noah until last baseball season, but he does a lot of the Creekside play-by-play. He did it for football last year. Basketball too, even last year?
Football. Yeah, it started this was my second season doing Creekside football, basketball. I do girls, boys basketball, and then also baseball.
Yeah.
And that's about as much as I can manage with school and everything else.
Yeah, that's right. So you do a lot of the baseball games, and I saw you even did some JV games or did a JV game.
I did a few JV games last season, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So
definitely helping out this
year. Go check out his YouTube page, and he's got
you buried the lead.
A chance to be really good.
He's wearing a shirt with his name on it.
He does have his own brand.
Okay, it's hard to see behind the computer
You're
on the
right.
stream because
your source for sports.
Oh, beautiful. Good. Yeah.
Schlick Sports. Now,
shirt with his name on it.
He might have a little bit of Action Sports Jax gear too.
I do.
Yeah.
But he wore the shirt with his name on it. Smart man.
Listen, he's a smart man. He's got a little Creekside Knights hat on too.
Got to represent.
Yeah. So this is fun to have Noah on, and we'll talk some sports. And he loves his basketball. He loves his Iowa Hawkeyes. Did you hear our conversation a couple weeks ago about what is a Hawkeye?
I don't know. I'm a Hawkeye fan. I don't know what a Hawkeye is. Is it a Hawkeye?
Well, that's
what we thought. That's what we thought.
I'd like to imagine.
I was waiting for you to call in that day. You must have been listening to another station or something.
But don't say it. Absolutely not.
A Hawkeye. What is a Hawkeye?
Oh, it's a fictional character from that book that everyone made fun of me for not knowing. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've probably never heard of The Last of the Mohicans either, but
that makes
your parents
two of us.
have.
I'm clueless right now. I lost as soon as you said comic book. I was lost after that.
Yeah, so a Hawkeye is a fictional character in a book that came out before there was electricity.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know the book, and then I got dragged on the stream and by them.
You said comic book. I just immediately connected it to the bow and arrow dude.
Yeah, you did. That's right, because we tried to do that too, and Brent's like, what is that,
I didn't even know
thing?
what that is, yeah.
Even with the
I've
new
heard of
Disney
Marvel.
Plus series?
Yeah, I don't watch that
by
stuff.
the way.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's sitting in the right chair for this.
I know.
Absolutely. All right, Noah, how did you fall in love with sports? You listened to the first hour of the show from over there. We didn't let you on. You have a time limit that we're allowed to have you on.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot I wanted to weigh in on,
Child
especially
labor
the Baker
laws.
stuff. But yeah, I got involved with sports from a very young age, and my parents, they're sports fans. My mom, dad, my dad played very small college basketball.
All right.
St. Ambrose, the Fighting Bees.
I think I've heard of them. Fighting Bees.
I don't think you've heard of them. They're not even D3. They did
What is
play
it,
Notre
NAIA?
Dame once. Yeah, I honestly
Is it in
don't even
Iowa?
know. Yeah, it's in
Okay.
Iowa, Quad Cities area, but he had a beautiful shot, and people say I have a nice-looking shot. They don't go in, though. But
NAIA.
NAIA.
they are NAIA. Oh.
According to Google, I mean.
Yeah. St.
Google's
Ambrose.
up. Yeah, but anyways, I fell in love with sports, let's see, just earliest things I remember. 2 months after I was born, we went to a Chicago Cubs game. Opening day against the St. Louis Cardinals. My dad was actually a Cardinals fan.
Oh.
I turned him to the right side of the Chicago Cubs.
Wow, you changed him. Powerful.
Yeah, it was a miracle. But really, some of my earliest memories with the sport are just sitting in the couch in my basement, so if you don't know Florida people, they don't have basements here. That is a place where you go, there's like a room under the ground, but they'll have windows at the top, so you can see. It's not that scary. But
most of the people have moved into Florida, so they probably
that's
know,
true.
but it's been a while.
You see a lot of Hawkeye fans down here. Maybe
you
they
don't
know
need
what
all those storage units. You store everything in the basement.
Yeah, we spent more time down in the basement than upstairs, really. But I remember just sitting there on the couch watching Cubs games, listening to Len Casper, and that's some of my early.
That's your
sports
guy.
memories. Yeah, that's my guy. That's the reason I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. I loved listening to him. I go out in the backyard and play my mom's got fantastic video, by the way. I remember.
I've seen it.
Yeah, in third grade, we showed this one video to my class. They got an absolute kick out of it. It's just me in the backyard, and I'm doing play-by-play to this play sequence that I'm doing where I pitch it, it hits my fence, I run to it, get it, and say, and he smacks it into right field. I throw it to the left, where left field would be. I go get it, and then I throw it in. Sequence of crazy play happens. The Cubs get a double play, and little 2-year-old me with the commentary. It's a hilarious video, but I remember just going out doing that, coming in and watching the Cubs game, or they have these little baseball guys. Have you ever heard of them? They got them for like football, other sports as well. But then I go in and I do the exact same thing, just with those. I lay out my little mat, put all the guys out there.
Oh, yeah.
Get my toy cars and stuffed animals, pile them into like this stadium I made out of the couch. And I do that, announce that game, and then make all the cars go away. And, that's how I spent my days.
There you go.
And in kindergarten, during nap time, I'd draw out the starting lineups for the Cubs and who they were playing on these little pieces of paper. So when I get home, I'd remember everything. I'd go get into my Cubs uniform, head to our backyard, and start playing. And I remember being so proud when we moved out of that house. I was able to hit a tennis ball over the roof because we had a pretty big backyard there. I was so proud the day we moved out, I hit it over the roof, and that was my goodbye to that place.
That's awesome. Who would start in today's Cubs lineup?
Nick Madrigal. I like him. I like Nick
do too,
Madrigal.
actually.
I could talk a lot about the Cubs baseball. I'm not sure if people would want me to down here in Jacksonville.
Who's the best player on the Cubs right now?
Nick Madrigal.
Is he really?
I mean, they got a lot of guys that need to be good.
Gosh,
Marcus
they hit everybody.
Stroman. He's our top player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the pitching staff's not bad.
I don't know.
Hendricks
We'll
is
see how
still okay.
Seiya Suzuki does.
Boy, they have really retooled that thing.
Yeah. No more Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Anthony
They
Rizzo.
just
There's nothing
ripped
to
it
fall back
apart.
on.
It's crazy.
Oh, they ripped out our hearts, too, when they traded Rizzo. Like, we were ready for that Baez and Bryant stuff, at least, my Cubs circle. We were ready for that to happen. We did not think Rizzo was going anywhere. And especially with him going to the Yankees.
I hear you, though. I hear you.
Oh, man. He does not look right in those pinstripes.
No, he doesn't.
You can fall back to Jason Hayward if you want to talk glory days, Cubs, 2016.
Jason Hayward didn't even hit 200 that year.
Nope, he was bad.
No. He did save us with the rain delay speech, though, so
there we go.
We can pay him $84 million for that.
For that. It was a big moment. Big moment.
Absolutely.
It helped. We will talk a little more baseball, maybe even some prospects going in your wheelhouse, too, Casey.
Yeah.
I might have to sit out that segment.
Max Mayer.
But who are you
going to
see? Who are you going to see in the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp? Of course, we're home for Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp baseball all year for a second year in a row right here on ESPN 690. All right, let's talk some football, fellas. And best position group on the Jacksonville Jaguars, Casey Kurtz.
Best?
Best.
Cornerback.
That's what I say, too.
Dang it. I thought I was going to be original.
That should be a surprise.
I thought I thought you said quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I kind of don't put quarterback. I don't really count that in this.
No. I mean, especially after signing Darius Williams, there's no way the cornerback room should not be expected to be the best positional group. And Darius Williams, I'm not sure if they're going to start him as the corner 2, maybe even start him out. Is Griffin going to be our number 1 guy in that position room still? Or
I still think you have to. Now, listen, Doug Peterson and company and Mike Caldwell can get away with doing what they want and blame everything on Urban. And as you recycle through coaches and regimes, you can blame it on the previous regime, even if it looks bad money-wise, all the rest. So you got a little bit of an excuse. But I think the money you paid Shaq Griffin tells me he's your number 1 guy. And by the way, he played pretty well.
He's a good cornerback.
He played pretty well for him. I mean, he's not probably all pro level, but he's pretty good. And he's got to come up with more big plays and interceptions. But I think he's a very reliable guy. Tyson Campbell is your future there, you think. And I thought he showed a ton of growth. And I don't think he played very well in the slot. So I think they're going to have to see Darius Williams, who also doesn't have a ton of experience in the slot at the nickel spot, but he's been able to play there. They obviously feel that one of those 3 guys can play in the nickel because you don't go spend second-round pick. Again, if Tyson Campbell is on the bench, I blame Trent Baalke as much as I blame Urban Meyer, okay? Because they together made the 33rd overall pick. And then they just went and spent $80 million on 2 corners over the last 2 years with their mega deals. So you have to find a place for all 3. Like, Trey Herndon cannot be your nickel corner. Yeah. Trey Herndon's your backup guy. He can't be your nickel corner. But if you take those 3, it's a very reminiscent of what the Dolphins did with their investment in the corner position. Now, you could probably say the Dolphins were better in the guys that they got. The kid out of Auburn, long last name. Igbenogany, yeah. And obviously Byron Jones.
That, by the way.
Thank you.
And Xavier and Howard.
Yep.
So those 3 guys, maybe they're better, although has Byron Jones played well for Miami down there? And Howard actually for a time last year wasn't playing so well. And then he kind of recovered and had a nice rest of the year, I think. But that's what it reminds me of. It's like they are very invested in that in that cornerback position. Therefore, I think it does make them the most proven and the best group, Casey, because they're invested in it. They know that's what the situation they're going to be in most of the time on defense, 65% of the time in the nickel.
Yeah, I like the 3 guys they have. I think Tyson Campbell got a lot better. For a while there, we were scratching our head like,
might be the only guy that got better.
That is a great call, actually. And like you said, Darius Williams like him a lot. So, yeah, I think they're in a good spot at corner, which is a weird thing to say, especially without Jalen Ramsey. But I don't know why I thought I was going to be out on a limb there, but I guess we're all
Well,
in
I
agreement.
think there's one other possible way to go. Or do you think corner's their best group, Noah?
I think corner's their best group. And, I mean, Darius Williams, that guy's just a great story.
Give us a little Creekside love on Darius.
Okay, I know. So 2 years covering Creekside sports, I got like a whole profile on Darius Williams now.
No, he didn't. He played there in like 2010.
Yeah, but you still, like, basketball especially, you'd be surprised. That's the sport where I've heard the most about Darius Williams. You don't hear that with a lot of the football guys anymore.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, Noah. You probably know more about Darius Williams. I don't. I was here 3 years by the time Darius was probably coming out of Creekside High School, and I don't remember Friday nights.
Yeah, he started at Bartram, and then when Creekside opened, came over there, and he, from what I can tell, he wasn't like he was a good football player. He was good. You know, they played him at running back, a little bit of wide receiver, I think.
They did. We have some offensive highlights of him.
Finding him at corner, but, you know, he wasn't really like this guy who stood out to you. I mean, he ended up going D3. Like, he wasn't a guy that you're looking at like Sharif Denson right now over at
Bartram.
Bartram, you know,
There's only a certain amount of Bartram mentions allowed on the show today, by the way.
Okay. But, yeah, Darius, he also played basketball. That's why I hear the most about him. He went to the state Final Four with Creekside as their sixth man. And, there's still guys there that his old coach is now an assistant at Creekside. Adam Holmes, their head coach, plays in a rec league with some of his former teammates. I believe he also did track and field and then went on to D3, didn't like it, was denied as a walk-on at UAB.
I know. How about
and
that?
then he ended up, coaching change, came back, they accepted him, and then eventually that school ends up closing down there, like shutting down the football program while he's there, so he just comes back expecting to be done, I think. And then they open it back up after public pushback, and undrafted free agent, waived by the Ravens, ended up with Sean McVay and winning a Super Bowl as their number 2 quarterback behind Jalen Ramsey. And now to come back home, $20 million contract with the Jaguars, that dude's got to be a local legend when his career is all said and done.
Yeah, he's sneaky one. I mean, it's really a sneaky guy to come back home. And obviously, Shaq Quarterman's another hometown guy playing for the Jags. It reminds you of, by the way, the last big hometown guy, it feels like, that performed so well, Rasheed Mathis.
Right.
It'll be interesting to maybe get those two guys together a little bit. Rasheed playing at Inglewood and had an unbelievable career here. In fact, I think Rasheed's maybe the most underrated Jaguar in the history of the franchise.
What's interesting about that point that I didn't even think about, undrafted free agent, just got paid millions.
Yeah.
J.C. Jackson, also undrafted free agent, just got paid $80 million.
Good point. So it does beg the question then, did the Jags need to go, or do teams think they need to go high on the corner position? Think about where the Jags have missed in the last, well, not just the Jags. Think about Okudah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Detroit, top 5. And then C.J. Henderson, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Did you need to do that? And listen, it's a little bit needle in a haystack to find stories like Darius Williams and a guy like J.C. Jackson. And Jackson had some other issues coming out of school, I think, that dropped him, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And so, but even Tyson Campbell, like, did you have to go at 33 to go get Tyson Campbell, or can you just draft and find and get these guys later and pick up, and sooner or later they're going to fit in your system? I don't know. Jags have tried that way, too. I mean, Trey Herndon might be that, actually.
I think you're right.
I think he is an undrafted guy. So, yeah, it's a couple different ways.
I just think it's funny that those guys got paid handsomely. They're one of the better corners in the league.
It's a great point.
Undrafted.
Well, and the other position guys that I thought maybe you would go with, if I say the best position group on the Jags, is running back. Like, I think you can make the case it's the best position.
Oh yeah.
But it comes with this huge caveat of, okay, if they're healthy, like, what are they going to look like? But James Robinson has proven that he can be a very good runner, and measurables in terms of his stats fit in the top 5, top 10 in the league over his first 2 years in a lot of different categories. And then we think Etienne's going to change this offense. Like, he has a chance to really give them something that this team hasn't had. So I think you could make the case. Now, you don't know what else is in that room right now. And I think that's one of the big questions is, should the Jags go get somebody else? I think I saw Clay Harbor, who we had on, who's been very vocal lately, by the way, about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he mentioned a couple of names.
Melvin Gordon.
I'd say no to Melvin Gordon. I do like the idea of Sony Michel, and I think we've discussed that before.
I'd say go the draft route.
Well, they will draft somebody.
I like
They got 14 sixth-round picks, so they'll draft somebody.
And they can't trade one of them for
Robert
anybody.
Woods? Yeah.
Like, how do you trade Robert Woods for a 6th-round pick? Anyways, I really like
I'm not mad about Robert Woods, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, because, 30 coming off the ACL. Robert Woods, to me, is...
Robert Woods is a good wide receiver.
He's a good player, but I'm not... I'm not bothered by the Jags not getting Robert Woods at this stage of what they're doing and what he is at.
I am.
And I think he's like... is there a big difference between like a guy like Marvin Jones
Don't
at his
say
age?
No,
not Zay Jones. But Marvin Jones? Is there a huge difference between like his numbers, the age, what you might expect of him, than a guy like Woods? Now, Woods the last 4... And by the way, they invested in Kirk because they hope he's Woods.
Correct.
Because if you go back and look at Robert Woods' career, first 5 years, he it wasn't like he did nothing, but he was very pedestrian. Then the next 4 years is where he's been 90 catches, 86 catches, and was on pace to have another good year. Well, that's exactly what they hope Kirk is. They hope Kirk takes off and now does those kind of numbers that Robert Woods had.
Kirk has those measurables where you feed him, you're going to see production. And I had made a video about this. Check it out on my YouTube channel. Got it on the shirt here. I was wearing an Action News Jax sweatshirt in that take, by the way.
That's very good.
Perfect.
Go to the YouTube page.
But anyways, Kirk, he was top 5 in the NFL in catch percentage. The only guys who did better and had 75-plus targets were Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter Renfrow, and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, well, that's good company.
Oh, yeah, and he makes a lot of amazing plays. He's got good speed, good route runner, great hands. That's exactly what the Jaguars needed, the wide receiver position. Paying him $5 million per year to get it, I mean.
It's not your money, Noah. Just always remember that. It's not your money.
All I'm saying, Robert Woods came into his prime, went over 1,000 yards twice, 900 yards, and then got hurt. Christian Kirk hasn't gone over 1,000 yards once.
No, but again, I'm telling you, if you look at the age, right? The age of Kirk, where he's at now, is where Robert Woods started to get into a different echelon as a receiver.
Yeah.
He found himself. And then I would just say 30-year-old wide receiver, the Jags have that in Marvin Jones.
But the point I guess I'm trying to make is, what'd you have to lose? We have all the 6th-round picks.
Well, you probably saw me that day. I joked around. I was like, you should have blocked it. Just to get rid of some of the 6th-round picks and make Tennessee mad. Like the Yankees, Red Sox do that. The Jags need to start doing that. If you're going to have 4 6th-round picks, just make Tennessee mad. And if they said, hey, we'll give you a 6th-round pick, take 2 of them. And then trade Robert Woods to somebody else for like a 7th. Just to make the Tennessee Titans mad.
What scares you more, Robert Woods on the Titans or Matt Ryan on the Colts?
Neither.
Robert Woods all day.
No, I know, but I knew he was going to say
neither, but Robert Woods.
1,000-yard receiver, book it.
I'm with you, man.
Just a guy. I'm not afraid of him.
This break, much needed right now.
So we'll go on a break. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. That's Noah Schlicksup. He's with us for another hour or so. Casey Kurtz, Brent Martineau. We'll be back. Worst position on the Jags. Worst position group on the Jags. That's next on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Plenty of sun and warm temperatures today, reaching the lower 80s this afternoon, cooler at the beaches, and then only dropping into the 60s tonight. Clouds will move in tomorrow, along with some afternoon showers and a few thunderstorms. Your Wednesday high up to 83. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't make a $1,000 mistake. Compare. Shop Beard's Diamonds.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PIPE for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code PIPE.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Sometimes you need an adjustment for that back or neck. Sometimes you need massage therapy for the same. Maybe you need a wellness consultation to protect from injury. You can do all of that and more at 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. And it doesn't matter where you are in town. There's a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. If you need a wellness consultation, look up 904chiro.com. If you need massage therapy or an adjustment, look up 904chiro.com.
thepreprof.com.
Just be positive. Your Community First Mortgage champions make sure you get a great rate, a quick close, and can save you about $3,000 in closing costs. Apply at communityfirstfl.org. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Beard's Diamond's most exciting offer is back for a limited time.
0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get zero down.
It's the sale smart jewelry shoppers wait for.
You get Beard's already low prices, but then you get to spread your payments out for 60 months with no money down. But hurry, this incredible finance opportunity won't last long.
How about a $6,000 Decory or Veragio ring?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a pair of $3,000 stud earrings.
You pay just $50 a month.
And every purchase at Beard's Diamonds is backed by our free lifetime guarantee.
Now's the time to get her that designer setting she's been dreaming about.
And spread your payments out for 5 years. Simply divide your total price by 60, and that's all you'll pay per month.
Don't miss out on the best deal of the year. 0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get zero down on everything in the store.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices on diamonds in Jacksonville, guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Tiger had a lengthy career. Out of all of it, what's your favorite moment of his?
Boy, my favorite moment of his career, that's a big question. I was at the 15th hole at Augusta for 19 years, and if you turn around in my seat on the 15th hole, you're almost on the front edge of the 16th. So when Tiger chipped in, that famous chip in from behind 16 when the ball just stopped on the edge and then fell in, that for me, was one of the loudest noises I've ever heard on a golf course. Down in the Dell there at Augusta, it was such an incredible roar. That stands out for me.
That is Noah a couple weeks ago with David Faraday during Tiger Woods' Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and Faraday was the MC that night for the festivities. All right, Noah Schlicksup, favorite interview so far that you've done? You've done a bunch of them now. You've been, you're Cubs guys, Shambi is one of them, right? To a lot of different local athletes, to some Jags players. Favorite interview on the YouTube channel. You can endorse one right now and tell them to go listen.
Only one?
Only one. Well, here's how YouTube works. They can go listen to all of them if they want, but you get to only endorse one.
I'm going to tell you, the one interview that I've probably had the most fun doing that I felt did not get enough love when I posted it, and still hasn't. I've tried promoting
this happens.
I've tried promoting this interview now for
well, let's help you.
2 years.
You got millions listening around the world.
It's only gotten like 150 views, but I interviewed Josh Allen from the Jaguars. I interviewed him.
We got to get Josh to retweet it. Did he?
I think he.
No
sure.
way.
I don't remember.
All right, we'll send the link out. We get Josh to do a little work.
Josh was very
talking about like our Josh Allen.
Oh
right?
yeah,
not the bad one.
Yeah, not the bad one. This is the guy that owns him.
Yeah, perfect. That's the guy we're talking about.
Yeah. But Josh has just got a great story.
Yeah, Josh is awesome.
Yeah, and he's a great guy. You know from talking to him.
Yeah, we should extend Josh. That's I've been trumpeting that. Not just because he's a good guy. I think he's a good
15
player.
years.
15-year extension.
Keep him
That'd
here.
be something. Only if you retweet your story. By the way, we all have those feelings. Just ask Casey. Casey will send a tweet, and he's like, I can't believe that's only got 2 likes.
Yeah,
I
mine
thought
are mostly
that was gonna
tweets.
have like 300.
Yeah, that are funny.
It's just so,
Yeah.
you feel good
It's
about something.
demoralizing.
It's the worst. It's just bad.
Especially when you just got a feeling like this is going to do good. Like sometimes.
I'm saying, man. Like, yeah.
Hey, we feel you.
Yours is like interviews that you worked hard on. Mine's like a tweet I crafted in like 30 seconds, but still I get mad. I posted a video of Trevor
That's the wittiest
Lawrence.
thing I've ever said.
When we were in LA, I posted a video of Trevor Lawrence just walking and got 10,000 views. I'm like, dude, he's just walking.
That's anything with Trevor Lawrence in it is going to get that.
Hey, you better
That or
be-
Tim Tebow, by the way.
That's why everybody's a front runner now. You just do that, and you don't have to say anything concrete.
But I've loved some of the smaller guys are always interesting too. I talked to Chris Maloney, a local athlete. He's one of my recent podcast episodes, and he was really fun because he got signed in a very odd way. I haven't heard about this until talking to him, but he was signed during the pandemic as an undrafted free agent. So he had a really good start that year at JU, and then just got shut down. So he was playing on a travel ball team. And it's funny because the day before, the Tigers just straight up went over to his friend, offered him a contract after seeing him pitch.
Huh.
So Chris knows there's MLB scouts there. There's like the Giants, a few others. So they see him pitch. They come up, offer him a contract. So he and his friend both got to sign with the Detroit Tigers, just playing on a travel team. And he's actually doing really good there now. He's a local product, went to Oakleaf. He's actually doing really good, advanced up to high A in 1 year there last year, and had a very interesting conversation with him, 30 minutes. I use that word interesting a lot, but seriously, we brought up a lot of good topics from his career to he brought up a really, with the minor league pay and some of those issues there.
Yeah.
I had asked him about that, and he's a great example of this issue because he got called up from A-ball in Orlando to high A up in Michigan. So he had to go from there, get a new house, still pay the rent down in Florida and all that. So now they're providing minor leaguers with housing this year. And he said that's going to help out a lot because over 50% of his paycheck was going to just paying for those 2 houses. So, those are interviews I really enjoy. And, I haven't had an interview before that I haven't liked, It's
Schlick
fun.
Sports is where you can listen on the YouTube channel, by the way, and check it out. So there you go. You
Schlick
actually
Sports made in the River
you
City
actually
on Apple
endorsed
Podcast.
2. See, I said 1. You actually endorsed 2. So Maloney and Josh Allen. Biggest thing is we got to get Josh Allen to retweet that thing. So we'll try to find out how to do that. All right. Speaking of Josh Allen, no disrespect to him. I love Josh. Worst position group on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, I'll go with the defensive line.
There's still with the Brandon Sheriff signing, I go O-line. still.
Really? You guys hate the offensive line. Everybody hates the offensive line.
There's just still holes there, and with a young quarterback, you got to protect him. That showed up at times last year, and you're losing their other guards.
Norwell, yeah, and Can.
Yeah, and you got Linder, who's uncertain at. Well, are they keeping him at center?
Well, for now, but yeah,
But
they
still,
could
you gotta
make a
know-
move there.
Yeah.
They could make a move. We'll see.
You got another guard position open. You got 2 tackle positions: Juwan Taylor, Walker Little, Cam Robinson. Little's showing promise. Hopefully, he's good. Robinson been okay.
Well,
And then
he better be better than okay. They think he is. They're going to sign him to an extension, probably.
And then there's Juwan Taylor, who's
I think a lot of people would say that because everybody, I say this all the time, everybody hates the offensive line of their football team. They just do. It doesn't matter. Like, there are very few people that don't really dislike their offensive line. And then there are some narratives that I think they're overblown. Like, Dallas, for a few years there, had the best offensive line probably in football, but were they really as good as everybody said? Because they didn't win anything with them. And then Indianapolis, I think, has probably been a little overrated in their offensive line play. But they don't complain about their offensive line. Everybody else in the National Football League, basically complains about their offensive line at one time or another, so they do that in Jacksonville. I just think defensively, that defensive line is a position they don't get sacks. They have 7.5 and 6.5 sack leaders. They're one of the worst in the NFL in sacks the last couple of years. They don't get pressure. There's other reasons. They don't lead many football games, so therefore the other team's not throwing as much. So there are some elements added, but their interior is just okay. Fatukasi hopefully will change that. They need more help on the defensive front to make their secondary, their best position, probably pretty good. If they can upgrade this defensive line even more, pass rusher, maybe Aiden Hutchinson, and also another draft pick, and maybe some emerging play from like a Devon Hamilton or even a Chason. Well, now all of a sudden your defense has a chance to be pretty darn good, because if the front's pretty good, we know the back end has some talent and ability to make plays. Casey, you coming with me defensive line, or are you going somewhere else?
I'm close to going with you, but not all the way. I can make an argument for wide receiver, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go linebackers. I think Oluwakon's going to be good. I don't think they should have got rid of Miles Jack. So what are you going to do on the other side? Quarterman, maybe. Dylan Moses.
Yep.
Half kidding.
We'll see.
Josh Allen's obviously great, but he falls into that pass rusher, D-line type thing. But then Chason on the other side, I can't go with that. So I think they did one really good thing at linebacker, but I think they offsetted it with maybe doing something not a great move, and then Chason, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah, that's
fair.
fair.
With Miles Jack, that there has to be just a little bit of homer with that, because he's been good, but he hasn't been that next level elite linebacker. That's at least my opinion. Oluwakan, on the other hand, you've seen he's a game changer really on the defensive end. He holds down that linebacker position really well. He makes big time plays and big time moments. He forced a few fumbles last year, had multiple interceptions, sacks, led the NFL in tackles. At just 26 years old, I really like that signing and feel like he's going to be good for the linebacker room. Aiden Hutchinson, a good edge rusher. If they end up trading that first-round pick, though...
They're not going to trade it.
They're not going to trade it?
Don't believe it. They can't trade it.
Believe it.
They can't trade the first-round pick. Give me one person who's going to trade the first-round pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm going to run through two scenarios.
Yeah, I can't wait for him.
One scenario, they keep that first-round pick, Hutchinson. There goes the edge rusher. They got a guy who's hopefully going to go get sacks, or even Thibodeau, possibly. We'll see. Another scenario, they trade that away, trade back, get a wide receiver, something in the middle of the first round. We'll see where they go there. There's a couple guys I really like in the second round. Those day two guys.
From a receiver standpoint?
No, from edge rusher.
Edge rusher.
South Carolina, really tough name. Kingsley Enagbare.
Well, that's good. That will go along with everything else that just happened in free agency then if we get a tough name.
Oluwakan, Enagbare.
Fatukasi.
Then we got Josh Allen. But anyways, he's a really good edge rusher out of South Carolina. I think he's got potential to be really good. Myjai Sanders, local guy. Could be a potential if we do end up.
He had a tough combine, I think. It didn't work in the combine.
Combine, I don't really,
But yeah, he's a kid out of Reigns.
Yeah, I
from Cincinnati.
Look at his game against Alabama, 10 quarterback pressures against that Alabama O-line. Dude's a game wrecker. He does make he's a good pass rusher guy who I'd expect to be able to help getting sacks, which is what the Jaguars need, someone to get to the quarterback.
I know you have some thoughts on wide receiver. Let's go there next because we still feel like that's one of the holes that the Jacksonville Jaguars have to fill. So maybe not go there next. We have football at 5 coming up, so I want to hang on to the wide receivers. Also, I do have a thought on this. Are we going to see things more like the AFC West? Like I brought up the Red Sox-Yankees, and they make moves and counter moves based off each other sometimes, like in the history of their rivalry. And I'm sure other teams do and have. But the AFC West this year felt like every move was made based on what everybody else was doing. Like, I got to catch up and get better or I'm doomed, even if I'm halfway decent. Are we going to see that more, and have we seen it before? Those are some of the topics coming up. Football at 5. Still on the way. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Noah Schlitzup sitting in for Austin Lane. He's about a foot shorter and 150 pounds lighter.
You can probably barely see me on the camera.
We'll be right back.
The spring action on the campus of the University of North Florida is in full go mode. Go to UNFOspreys.com for all the news, schedules, and results, and how to get some tickets to watch some of that action as well. A little bit of something for everybody. Softball team is off to a terrific start to the season. Baseball team in action. Men's and women's golf. Men's and women's tennis. How about some beach volleyball and track and field? Like I mentioned, a little bit of everything on the campus of the University of North Florida. The easiest way to keep up, UNFOspreys.com.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't safe touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what safe touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And safe touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the safe touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the safe touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the two-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
With spring dealing with 2.9% APR on the award-winning 2022 Acura RDX crossover SUV. And now is the time to trade. Get top dollar and pile on the savings. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com. Excludes PMC edition.
Sometimes you need an adjustment for that back or neck. Sometimes you need massage therapy for the same. Maybe you need a wellness consultation to protect from injury. You can do all of that and more at 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. And it doesn't matter where you are in town. There's a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. If you need a wellness consultation, look up 904chiro.com. If you need massage therapy or an adjustment, look up 904chiro.com. The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
You're on your way to work, and then, bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with Premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with Premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The reason I say they're in danger, their margin for error on a night-to-night basis is very slim. Seth Curry is still battling this ankle issue that's been bothering him all year. Ben Simmons, herniated disc. We don't know when he's available. Kevin Durant, obviously one of one. What happens if he has an off shooting night? What happens if he has two off shooting nights? Right? So much is required of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it's all on his shoulders.
Right. No, to be A plus every single night for this team to win right now. Do I think they're going to drop from the 8th? Probably not.
Well, NBA chatter.
Nobody's talking, bro, except JJ Redick.
How about LeBron? That was a good moment last night. Well, first of all, he got kicked in the face. See that?
Nope.
I just saw the dunk.
Dunk over Love. Did you see Love
I saw the tweet.
him?
Oh.
After?
Yeah.
And coming out of the I like that about the professional athletes when they have these laid back kind of moments like they're on a playground. They're getting paid millions in front of millions of fans, and then they have these moments that you would have that moment in your neighborhood game.
Just remember to not take it so seriously.
Yeah,
know?
well, that's what it reminds you of. And in an 82-game season, you can do that. I think we've seen that before. I think Jeter, I remember some of those kind of fun moments, just like a little wry smile, when something maybe makes a good play, or you'll see some of it with pitcher-batter confrontation. I like those just loose, casual sports moments because everything's usually intense in competition. It's so intensified.
That's what I love about baseball, especially Brett Phillips with the Rays. He brings so many of those where it's just like, fun.
Yeah. He's a fun guy. Is that one of your favorite guys, Casey?
Brett?
Yeah.
I mess with him. He's important to the Rays. Absolutely. Doesn't play every night, but fills a role.
By the way, the AL East is loaded, huh?
Tell you what, man. Toronto is very good. I know it's not where you thought I was going to start with. Toronto is very good, scary good.
They nearly made the playoffs last year. They're a sleeper.
A dangerous offense.
I just saw it over under 91 wins for Toronto. Hard over if they stay healthy.
Does the whole division other than the Orioles have like a 91?
90. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Or I think the Yankees are like 88. I think.
How about the Twins, though?
What are they?
In the AL Central. Signing Correa.
Yeah, what's their over-under?
I haven't seen it.
Are they favored to win the Central?
No, absolutely not. Chicago.
White Sox?
Yeah. But the Twins are sneaky like that. If Correa's good, if Gary Sanchez isn't horrible.
I gotta say, they got some up-and-coming prospects that they got from the Blue Jays. Local product, Austin Martin.
Yes.
And then Simeon Woods Richardson. He's going to be a good pitcher. I liked what they got back for Barreros. But, it was a great trade for both teams.
All right, let's go with the bracket. You got it? We might have a little we got to have a little baseball talk. I know you love baseball, and I love baseball, too. Casey loves baseball, too. So we could have a lot. Maybe we should just do a show.
There we go.
Baseball show. Let's just add one more show.
Let's just add another one.
All we do is add shows. When are we doing these shows? All right, here's the deal. We get a fresh start in the Sweet 16. We got 5 minutes before we get to the top of the hour, so we got to do this quick. Go ahead.
All right, who I got?
Who you got winning the games, into the Elite Eight, then the Final Four, then the champ?
I'm going to start off with the Elite Eight. I got Gonzaga over Arkansas. Sorry, SEC fans. Texas Tech.
There are SEC basketball fans?
Yeah, I got 3 out of my 4 Final Four teams from my original bracket still in it. And I got my champion as well.
Wow, that's a humble brag right here. That's what's going on there.
Yeah, but Texas Tech, I got them beating Zaga in the Elite Eight.
Oh.
Well, their defense is what sticks out for me. And coming off of a close one against Notre Dame, I still like them. Gonzaga barely able to escape that Memphis game. And Georgia State, they held on with them for a while. They competed. They scored 93 points. And then UCLA, North Carolina, UCLA. I'm going with them. They're actually my champion in my bracket still from the start.
Wow.
Yeah, I was predicting March Madness this year.
You're right.
St. Peter's, Purdue, this is the game I'm most focused on right now because it intrigues me. St. Peter's run, they've had the perfect game plan for every team they've faced, and they've executed great. We saw that against Kentucky. Came out 79-85 final. However, Purdue, they're just a different level. Jaden Ivey, Big Ten Player of the Year. He's averaging 17 a game. Going to the NBA. Trevion Williams is 6'10". They also have Purdue's got a kid 7'4". Zach Edey. He's 7'4", averages 14.5 per game.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
5'7".
I was asking,
That's
so
a couple feet.
Yeah, just a couple feet. And then St. Peter's, they got some hype, but anyone over 6'7" on their team is an underclassman. So I think that
they got no chance.
I'm not saying they don't have a chance. I'm saying if they're going to win, they're going to have to rely on the 3-ball and their outside play because they're not going to win that game in the paint. I have Purdue winning this one and them losing to UCLA, of course, as they are winning my championship. Kansas over Providence. Sorry, Brent. I almost picked Providence.
Well, we had you here until 5:30. Guess it's time to get you out.
I knew that was a dangerous pick. But I had them originally. As you can see, I erased them for Kansas.
It's cold.
Just adding to it here.
Miami over the Cyclones. Sorry, Iowa State. Not really, though. And then Kansas beating Miami in the Elite Eight. Miami, I'm a fan of them. I've loved this run so far. They've been the underrated run. I mean, they didn't get nearly enough coverage for their win over Auburn. They crushed them 79-61. I mean, I feel like that needed more coverage, in my opinion. I was kind of sad about that.
We'll add it to the ESPN 690 rundown, make you feel better.
But yeah, Miami, I got them beating Iowa State and losing to Kansas in the Final Four. And then Arizona-Houston, that's an interesting game because Houston's been playing really well defensively. Held Illinois to 53 points. And
one of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, they're really good, really underrated squad, but still I got Arizona beating them. And the real question for me was if Villanova could get past Arizona. I haven't gotten past Michigan. And I say Arizona. I'm sticking with my Final Four. The only team that didn't make the Final Four, I knew I'd regret putting my Hawkeyes in there instantly. Knew and
you homered up.
Can't bet with your heart.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've done
homered
it.
up.
I should have known by now.
You'll learn. You're only 15. Yep. Just turned 15. You got plenty of time to figure that out.
So much heartbreak. I should. And here's the thing: if they prove me wrong, I'd be like, "Well, should have picked him." Now I got two different things to worry about. Final Four team out. Hawkeyes are out. That sucks. But anyways,
who's playing in the title game?
Arizona, UCLA.
And UCLA winning it?
Yep.
All right, Casey, go ahead, blitz through, baby.
Give me Arkansas over Gonzaga.
What?
Give me Texas Tech over Duke. Give me North Carolina over UCLA. Give me St. Peter's over Purdue. What? Give me Miami over Iowa State. Sorry, not sorry. Give me Providence over Kansas.
Yeah! You're around for the rest of the show.
Yeah, that was the goal. Arizona over Houston. Villanova over Michigan. Then give me Arizona. Then give me Texas Tech. What were we looking at here? Give me North Carolina. Give me Miami. I'm not sure where that gets me, but the point of the story I'm getting at is Texas Tech's going to win it all.
I'll tell you what.
That's not a bad pick.
If Texas Tech makes the Final Four again, or even the Final Four. Well, did they make the Final Four?
Yes.
Yeah, they did. So if they make the Final Four again, or if they won it, I mean, what a run that is. And by the way, that'd be two different coaches.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a run that nobody thought of them as a basketball place. Now, if you get Texas Tech and somehow find Houston in the Final Four, you're talking about two really good defensive teams.
Yeah.
That would make it.
That'd be cool.
All right, I got Gonzaga, Duke, Chalk, UNC, Purdue. I love Purdue the whole time. That's not. Yeah, that is chalk.
You want to know why?
No, well, UNC's not chalk.
You want to know why Purdue loses?
Why?
The farther you get Zach away from the basket, the more inability they have to play basketball. If they can bring him out, St. Peter's is going to have a field day.
That's interesting. Houston, I have beating Arizona, by the way. Villanova. Providence, because I got a homer up now. Now I'm homer.
There's
up.
no choice.
Yeah, and Miami. By the way, Jim Larinaga, Providence guy, just so you guys know. So we get Providence, Miami. I'm taking Providence to the first Final Four since 1987. Ricky P. and Billy D. Villanova to beat Houston. Gonzaga. Purdue, who I did have in my Final Four from the jump. Then I got Gonzaga, Villanova. Villanova beats Providence there. They've had their number all year. Close games, but they've had their number. What a turnout that would be for the Big East if you got Villanova and Providence in the Final Four.
Be good.
And then Gonzaga to win it all because that's who I picked.
Chalk, go out on the sidewalk with everybody else.
I mean, you were picking Tennessee and the Rams. You had to stay with them, right? You had to stay with them.
If Texas Tech can get past the Final Four, they're winning it all.
I don't even think Gonzaga's played well.
That's why they lose to Arkansas, baby.
So that's dangerous for the rest
Arkansas.
of the... Yeah,
I thought I was predicting March Madness.
Bro, I'm here for it.
SEC. Football at 5 coming up. We'll get back to some Jags. The AFC West, is that now a blueprint for the rest of the league? I'll tell you what we're talking about in that regard. We still have a golf bracket to get to for our golf picks. We will not go blow by blow for that bracket. I promise you that. Still to come. Football at 5. Noah Schlickson, Casey Kurtz, Brent Martineau. We'll be back.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PIPE for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code PIPE.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
It's estimated that 1 in 5 adolescents experience some type of mental health struggle. Register today to attend the 2nd annual Brave Summit on March 30th. This free event, hosted by Flagler Health Plus, is open to all 9th through 12th grade students and will feature nationally recognized speakers, messages from TikTok influencers, live bands, food, prizes, and activities, all centered around the issues affecting teens the most. Register online at Eventbrite.com and search Brave Summit. That's Eventbrite.com and search Brave Summit.
The Big Ten is up, and you know what that means. Get ready, get set, go to Arlington Toyota for the Ready, Set, Go event going on now. Leave it to our friends over at Arlington to have over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with 4.7 out of 5 stars and over 14,000 Google reviews, you know you'll be one happy customer. Don't wait. Shop the Ready, Set, Go event in Arlington's state-of-the-art showroom or online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station. I'm Marshall. I'm a volunteer with the Florida Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. Now more than ever during the pandemic, Florida long-term care residents deserve the best care and quality of life. I invite you to join me and hundreds of others in advocating on behalf of people who can't speak for themselves. Visit ombudsman.myflorida.com to join us today.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Southern Recipe
Pork rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds have the bacony crunch you crave in a protein-packed, low-carb snack. They're the pork rind that tastes best for just about any event. Southern Recipe pork rinds are also low-sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen, so it's a no-brainer. Get through the daily grind with Southern Recipe pork rinds at southernrecipe.com today.
Southern Recipe
pork rinds.
Visit Amazon today for your Southern recipe pork rinds.
Hi, my name's Joe Cordell. Sometimes in divorce, courts require the higher earner to pay to the other party what's called spousal support or alimony. Usually this order can be modified in certain circumstances, but such modifications are often complicated and are best entrusted to attorneys that are well acquainted with such matters. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
If I was him, I would go up to Minnesota, sit behind Kirk Cousins. He has 2 years left on his deal. If he goes back there and sits behind him, Kevin O'Connell, new kind of offense. You talk about the whole Sean McVay style of offense with Kevin O'Connell. He's from that tree. They have two great receivers in Thielen and Jefferson, and they have a great running back. If he can sit behind there, he can give them a even cheaper option than Kirk Cousins and be able to push Kirk Cousins.
That is Bart Scott. Listen to him on ESPN 690 Daily. Brent Martineau along with Casey Kurtz here on a Tuesday. Noah Schlicksup joining us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. It's an annual thing now. Austin goes away. Noah jumps in for a day. And by the way, the last time Noah stopped over, he was actually at the Players' Championship, so he helped co-host the show that day. That was a year ago. Then Austin started picking up his fight game, started beating everybody, and got a job on a morning show. So he obviously felt a little threatened, Noah.
I'd love to get to talk with you, Austin. I've never met the guy. I filled in for him twice.
There we go. You haven't met Austin?
I've never met Austin, never.
He talks about you sometimes.
That's interesting. We don't say anything bad about him because you're on his good side.
Yeah.
See, like Ty for 3 years was on his bad side because he picked against Murray State.
Which was a very good idea, Ty. Smart kid.
And by the way, who's smart now?
I can't wait till Friday.
I don't plan on getting on his bad side.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean,
he's bigger than the cutout.
Yeah, I mean, he's tougher in a cage than he is in a radio studio.
Yeah.
Especially when he's not here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But let's. All right, I want to get a few things here. We're going to get to this. Golf picks will come up. You're going to join it. You're actually filling in for Austin on the golf picks. You can't do any worse than the so-called butcher has done. And there's no cut this week. Or there's like 5 cuts, really.
Yeah. This is how I get on his bad side, though.
It's all right.
Nah, seriously, you can't. Like, you can't do worse. Who did we have pick for him? Stewart,
and then he did well, and then he threw a fit. He's like, those are my points. We were like, shut up.
You just take the points. So we will get to that. But back to some football talk here. The AFC West is full of, obviously, it's so loaded. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They should. You know what the AFC West should do? They should be like what the SEC wants to do. Like they just formed their own league for a year and tell everybody else to go play. Or like the group or the Power 5 versus everybody else. Like that's what it feels like the AFC West should be. But you know it's not going to be as like unbeatable as everybody says. Listen, the NFC West came into this year very talented. They were beatable. The Rams were beatable early. Then they obviously found themselves winning the Super Bowl. Arizona was beatable late. Seattle was very average, as it turned out. San Fran was pretty average at first, I think, like 10 games, and then started to take off and find itself. So, listen, the division is not just going to beat itself up and beat everybody else. That's not the way it works. It's the NFL. But what I find interesting about the division is a little bit like the NFC West, where it got loaded. And everybody kept going to get add. We got to win now. We got to stay in front of everybody. Well, the AFC West has done that. Everybody was catching Patrick Mahomes. Well, then what happened was the Chargers got Herbert and then started putting together a pretty good roster. And then they said, okay, we got to go get more. We got to go get more people. We got to keep Mike Williams. We got to find what we can to battle against Kansas City. Then Denver, who was in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, says, we're going to go get Russell Wilson. They've got a pretty talented offense to begin with. I'm not so sure Denver is as good as any of those other teams right now.
I was about to say that.
But they at least are here to play the game and have ponied up to say, hey, we're in the game in the AFC West. And then there's Vegas, who may now have done more than anybody. They go get Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams. They re-sign and extend Max Crosby. They put everything on Derek Carr, and they bring in Josh McDaniels and a new front office.
Forgot about Josh.
So basically what you're looking at is this bevy of moves made by the AFC West, what feels like they're just trying to keep up with each other. And really what all started was they were trying to chase down the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that going to be a common thing? Is that going to happen in the AFC East because Buffalo's the team to beat and separated itself, so everybody else will now say, okay, it's time to play the chess game to catch up? Will it potentially happen, and maybe you can argue it has happened a little bit in the AFC North with Cleveland, as they go get Deshaun Watson? Lamar Jackson's around. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh, they probably still have to find some things. But are we going to start seeing this around the rest of the NFL? Saw it a little bit of a sample last year with the NFC West. We saw it a boatload with the AFC West this year. Is that the new NFL, Casey?
I think it is. I don't think it will be in the East, only because Bill Belichick's not going to go for that.
You're not going to play that game?
I don't think so. But like Miami, not saying that they've done that, but, Jalen Waddle, they've made big moves in terms of that when they've had the opportunity to do so, and they've been smart with their moves in free agency this year. They got better players. So I think that'll be interesting. I don't see New England doing that. But, yeah, you do what you got to do. Me and Brian talked last night on Overtime. You might have an 11-win team in the AFC miss the playoffs.
That was the first thought I meant. Because, out of those 4 teams, one of them's got to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, because out of those 4 teams, one, like I said this about Arizona last year. How did this shake out? Actually, Seattle ended up being the worst team, right?
Yes.
And that's why I said, I thought Arizona could be a very good team, but still be a 500 team. Now, they were what did they end up winning? 10?
Arizona?
Made the playoffs. I think they won 10.
Yeah, and they got wiped by the Rams.
And then And so, but I think that could that's going to happen. Denver's going to be either Arizona or Seattle, but miss the playoffs. They're not going to be Arizona and make it. But Denver's going to be that team, I would say, at least the eye test says. And I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, bottom line is Arizona and Seattle didn't live up to what we thought that division would be. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 3 teams that we think is going to be very good, maybe it is a Vegas, and Denver, are worse than we think they're going to be.
I wouldn't say Vegas out of those 4.
Who is? Kansas City? The Chargers? Chargers always disappoint, but they look loaded.
I'd take Denver over the Chargers right now.
Really?
100%.
Really?
Why?
Denver?
Yeah.
Wait, to be bad or good?
To be good.
Really?
Yes. Russell Wilson is very good. And the games they lost last year, I mean, they were in them to that point. You now have a quarterback. You still play defense. You have weapons. You lost a game by 3. You lost a game by 7. You lost another game by 3. Those are games you now win with Russell Wilson.
The defense is ready, that's for sure. And with Russell, that's going to help. But I think they just need one more weapon on offense to get over the hump.
Yeah, I mean, they could start by bringing back Melvin Gordon and roll with Williams and do that. But they can draft somebody in the draft. But I think it's fascinating with that division, like you said, only 3 of them can make the playoffs. So, let's say both wild cards come out of there. So then look at the other divisions. Who's not making it? The Colts or the Titans? Who's not making it out of the North? Any of those teams.
Yeah.
So, it's who's
the
not
domino
making
effect
it?
Is
Buffalo, New England, or Miami.
Miami, yeah.
It is crazy. You're going to have such good teams miss the playoffs in this division.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And in the conference.
And by the way, you could be 9-8 and be a very good team. That sounds average a lot of years, and 9-8 is still weird to say because of the 17-game schedule, but that sounds really average, but it might not be the case. I mean, you can get beat up by your own division, and it's hard to win division games as is. Never mind when these guys go all in like this.
At the same time.
So will we see it? Again, you said the AFC East, maybe not with the Patriots, but maybe they're just good enough to be competitive. But the Dolphins have kind of done it, right? They've had this money. The big thing there is Tua the guy. The Jets were more quiet this year than I thought they'd be. And maybe it's just not their time. Maybe they feel like they're still a year away from building it up, and then they'll go spend.
I think to that point, I agree with the spending, but you have to consider the draft picks. At least I do. Because the draft picks you made last year on offense for the Jets, Zach Wilson, it is what it is. I don't like Zach Wilson, but other people do. That's fine. Elijah Moore's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Michael Carter might be pretty good.
And you have 2 top 10s.
Exactly. So, it's not the way that you're maybe thinking of, spend the money, but you made the moves to have the draft capital to pick a guy like Drake London and another pretty solid player.
Good point. It's a good point. I find it fascinating because I do compare it to the AL East. We just talked about this. The AL East, it was always the Yankees, Red Sox, but Toronto's jumped in the fray, right?
Tampa Bay.
And Tampa has built such a good organization that
Back-to-back
they're
division
in the
champs.
fray. Now, Baltimore is like, can I please get out of this division?
Yeah.
Right?
Anywhere else, please.
What's amazing about all that is that the Rays have come out on top back-to-back. They've spent the least money.
Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes, but that could be like, for this example, that could be the Patriots. Not that the Patriots went out and spent a lot of money last year, but point being, there's a different way to get good sometimes. And maybe you're just good because you're a good organization. Maybe Mac Jones is really good, all this stuff. So you don't always have to do it the same way. What I found interesting about the AFC West this year is they did it the same way. They went out and said, we're adding big money, big body, big name. Oh, we're just going to go get it. And we're going to chase it. And there are really, when you chase like that, usually you think you've got a chance. Heck, the AFC West made their team a lot better probably all across the division, and they might not even make the playoffs.
My question now for the Jaguars, though, is, they've went out and spent all this money this offseason. What's going to happen when they're that team that's ready to just make that jump, to go out and compete? They're not going to have that money to go out.
Well, by that time they could, right? If the Jags are 2 years down the road, well, they're out from under a lot of contracts in 2 years. You can always move the money around, as the entire AFC West just said. So really the big thing there is, are they, when they're ready to compete? They might, if they were ready to compete this year, they may have gone and got a Chandler Jones. See, that's the difference. Instead, they went and re-signed Cam Robinson, and they go get Sheriff on the offensive line to protect their young quarterback. But if this team was 2 years down the road, they might have gone and got a 32, 33-year-old pass rusher instead of a young pass rusher in the draft to seal the deal and maybe put him over the top. So there's different methods to do it. The bigger question now, as we switch back to the Jags, is what holes are there to fill?
Wide receiver 1.
So all the money they just spent in free on the pass catchers, Ingram, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and we still think they need a wide receiver 1.
Yes.
It's without a doubt. They don't have a guy out there currently that's,
All right, so find us that guy before you leave the show, Noah Schlicksup.
You mentioned Drake London over there.
That's the guy, 100%. You're not going to get him unless you move off the first pick because he's going to go in the top 10, so that's kind of a problem. But
he's 6'5".
Yeah, he's
200 pounds. Dude also played basketball for USC. He's an athletic guy and the exact type of guy who will be the wide receiver 1 here in Jacksonville, who will be a star. Every quarterback has their guy. Brady had Gronk. You look at the AFC West right now. Mahomes got Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill in place, Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Trevor Lawrence needs that go-to guy. Drake London is the guy in this draft that I believe has the most potential and the best chance to become that wide receiver 1 the Jaguars would need. That's why I'm starting to become more of a fan of trading back. Even if you don't get great value back, you can still get some. And with Drake London, I just feel like that is the value overall, because he's not a guy you're going to take number 1 overall.
It's funny you say that. I like when the kids talk from a logical perspective sometimes, and Noah's not your typical kid in terms of the way he talks sports, but I think I brought this up recently. Like, Ty kind of said the same thing to me. He's like, well, who cares if you need, normally for a number 1 pick, you'd get 3 first-round picks. Well, so what? Just if you want to trade it for a bargain, but still pick up picks and slide back to, your point, and take a receiver. Well, there's 2 reasons why they can't do that. One, I think there's an integrity of the game kind of thing from the personnel standpoint, the GMs, the front offices, that they're not just going to hand over that first pick, even if you collect, say, 2 second-round picks for it. I just think that the extremes are too different, and half the league's already mad that they gave Christian Kirk what they gave him. You know what I mean? So there's a way to do business that I think you almost have to fall in line to a degree on. The other thing is this. The Jags have tipped their hand to say we're going pass rusher, and they left a huge vacancy at pass rusher. So the Jags can't pick wide receiver with that first selection. They need to get a pass rusher now. They don't have one. I mean, it's probably their biggest deficiency is sacks and turnovers, right? And they don't have another pass rusher right now. So they have to go use that pick on a pass rusher at the moment, whether it's Thibodeau, whether it's Hutchinson. We can all debate that. But they have to get a pass rusher.
And I feel like that's a spot you can address in the second round. There's plenty of edge rusher talent in this draft, but you're looking for a wide receiver 1. And if you're trying to get that guy for Trevor, if you're trying to get that guy for him to throw to, Drake London is that option. And I'd rather take that bet, trading back in the first round, even if it's unconventional. I'd rather take that bet there and fill in the edge rusher position, because we still got Josh Allen rushing the passer. They've addressed that, and that is a need that they're going to have to address. But they got to get that number 1 guy for Trevor, and Drake London is just so talented that I feel like he'd be the guy in this draft.
Listen, we wrestled with this last year a little bit, right, on the Pitt stuff. Will you jump back in, and could you trade? I'd trade the farm to jump back in. I'm just trying to tell everybody, nobody's trading for that first overall pick, okay? There's nobody going to trade for it for what they're going to ask for it. Now, I understand when you're saying give it away. It's a little unconventional. It's not going to happen. So nobody's trading for it. The best way to go back in and get the receiver you want is to get back in the first round. And then they would have to trade things away. Would they be willing to do that? I'm okay with that. I'm tired of draft picks.
The question is, how much would they give up?
Well, how much would you have to give up? And where do you have to go? Is Drake London
7.
by then a
you
top?
have to go to 7.
That's what I mean. Is he a 7th overall pick now? Is he Jamar Chase? Is he Kyle Pitts? Is he that kind of talent?
Yeah.
He's got the size of Kyle Pitts as a wide receiver, and he's got speed as well.
And also, the position is the most deep. It's the most depth of any position in the draft year after year now. Is receiver.
I like.
And so the question is, can you get another one? Say you trade it back in at 25, or if you get to 33, is there another guy out there that could turn into your wide receiver 1? Is it an injured Jamison Williams? Is it Garrett Wilson? Is it Chris Olave? Is it Jahan Dotson? Any of those guys? I mean, heck, is it Treylon Burks? I mean, any of those guys that will fall potentially to 33 or later in the first round that you go up and get and say, I think this guy's our best guy. And it comes with a caveat here, this conversation. They paid Christian Kirk to be their number 1 guy. They paid him $17 million a year. So he's got to kind of turn into their number 1 guy.
If I'm Trent Baalke, though, right now.
Which is not a good thing to be.
It's getting better, though.
It's getting better.
I mean, a couple months ago.
A lot of people high on George Pickens right now, too.
Just George Pickens, he hasn't appeared in a full season since promising freshman year, but he's been hurt ever since.
So if you're finish your thought,
like
Trent Baalke.
If I'm Baalke right now, I am taking the least amount of risk for this time in the organization. This isn't a time where you're going to take a bet on a guy like Jamison Williams or even Jahan Dotson, who I like as a realistic option at 33, guys who could maybe turn into a wide receiver 1. There's still question there. I am going with the guy that I feel like I know is going to be that number 1 option, and that's what Drake London is. Like, there's a reason people are so high on him. It's sort of like Megatron. You remember him? He had the size, the speed, could go up and get balls. Drake London, he does it all. He's a well-rounded player, a great route runner, goes up, makes physical plays, and he's fast as well. He's got it all. He's 6'5", as I mentioned before. That's something you don't see very often from wide receivers. And Trevor Lawrence still lacking a guy who he's going to throw to, who is that number 1 option. Drake London, you got to get him.
That is Noah Schlicksup, who is 15 years old and asking us if we remember who Calvin Johnson is.
Yeah, I caught that. That was a new place for me to be. Yes. But if you want to talk about Drake London like that, come back anytime, because that's my guy. So
yeah, people love Drake London.
Because he's great.
Another guy coming off an ACL, right?
Yeah. Earlier in the season, though.
Yeah, also, how about USC Michael Pittman? That's a recent guy to come out of USC. They're starting to produce.
No, I mean, yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, USC as well. Like, they're just cranking out receivers that are good.
Yeah. Used to be running back U. Still is pretty good at wide receiver U.
Yeah, why don't they win games? You ever wonder that?
Like they had Robert Woods and Marquise, right?
Yes.
And I think I told you guys earlier, they both went to the same high school, too.
Mm-hmm. I guess you just need a quarterback.
I guess you do.
Drake London is the one guy that if the Jaguars were to trade that number 1 overall pick, he'd be the one guy using the selection that they traded back to. He'd be the one guy that would make that okay in my mind, because wow. There's a reason so many people are high on him.
Well, listen, if he's Jamar Chase-esque, it's hard to ignore what Jamar Chase did to Cincinnati, right?
He doesn't play. He's not Jamar Chase. He doesn't play that type of game. He's a different player. Impact-wise, I don't want to put that kind of expectation on him because Jamar Chase just had one of the best rookie seasons a wide receiver's ever had. Like, I don't want to go out and say that, but he has a guy who could have a similar impact, in my opinion, who could really take this offense to the next level and be that guy Trevor can rely on.
All right, real quick, let's get to our golf picks. Match play in March Madness. PGA Tour's done a nice job here, got their own bracket. Match play is really fun. Wish we saw more of it. It's why we like the Ryder Cup, right? President's Cup. And they have this event with the Dell Technologies Match Play Championships in Austin, Texas. I'll give you my final four. We're not going through the whole thing. A crazy bracket is the top left portion, by the way. John Rahm, Patrick Reed, Cameron Young, and Sebastian Munoz. I think you could pick any of them.
You could.
And you know Young better than me. I didn't really know much about him, but Munoz has been playing really well. And I'm not sure Rahm is flying high right now, you know?
No, he's not.
So I've actually got Patrick Reed coming out of that one. That's the only one I'll tell you. I don't have Reed going all the way. I have Dustin Johnson, Daniel Berger, Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas. All Americans, by the way, in my final four. Dustin Johnson, Schauffele going to the finish, and Dustin Johnson winning the match play.
Yeah, just go ahead out to the sidewalk with the chalk.
It's a little chalky.
No, it's a lot chalky.
Well, I have Morikawa losing to Kokrak. I got my upsets earlier. I have Brian Harmon coming out of there, but then he goes up against Schauffele.
Harold Varner's coming off of a great Players
Varner's
Championship.
coming off a nice month, really.
I love Harold Varner, and if I picked him over John Rahm, I would have had him in my Final Four. However, I have Rahm in my Final Four. I have Tommy Fleetwood and Justin Thomas in the championship. Schauffele, the other guy I have in my Final Four. Tommy Fleetwood, I really, really like him coming off of the Players and his recent success. But, however, I just have Justin Thomas winning because, I mean, here's the thing. The Players is the golf I watch. I'll tune in on Sundays sometimes, but after being there Saturday and seeing what Justin Thomas did, it's hard to pick against him for me.
All right. Well, hey, it must be familiar about that chair over there, how much golf gets watched.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good call.
You're sitting in the right spot, Noah. What you got? Now, Casey watches a bunch of it. He knows every guy. He knows the matchups. He knows the odds. He knows who's favored.
Casey, how's my pick looking?
Who'd you pick again?
Justin Thomas. I think that's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, chalk. It's okay. All good.
He had Fleetwood against him in the finals.
I like Fleetwood. Love Fleetwood. He needs to win in America. He hasn't figured that one out.
And Fleetwood's a 41 seed going to the finals. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Final four, that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
I also like Dustin Johnson. Scotty Scheffler as well. Finished second here last year. Other side is where things get a little wild. This ain't no hobby, Brent. Give me Kevin Kisner. Match play God, Kevin Kisner.
Gosh, it sounds so weird that he would be good at that, too.
He just had that controversial comment at the Players.
He did.
Yeah. He has a lot of them, but that's okay.
You've got to beat JT in round one.
Yeah, he's a match play God. Give me Kisner. Give me Sergio at home as well in Austin. So I
thought you said you liked my pick.
Oh, I mean, listen.
Hard to go against JT.
It is, but Kisner's that dude. So Sergio Kisner, DJ, Scotty. Give me DJ. Give me Kisner.
Wow.
Give me Kiz.
All right.
How about the hometown guy, Jordan Spieth? How's he looking, Casey?
I picked Jordan to win his little bracket, which is a tough bracket with Rosie, Keegan Bradley, and Adam Scott.
It is a tough one. I almost picked Keegan Bradley there.
Yeah, I mean.
Playing well, right?
He is. Match play is not a great spot for Jordan to be in. I think he gets out of it, though. But Kisner's just going to roll
I'll tell
everybody.
you, the tough one, too, was Hovland and Zalatoris. What a great opening round match that is.
That's good. I have, who do I have in that? I got Zalatoris.
This is a great bracket because golf is so deep right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's the easiest sport to get upset in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
By far.
Easy. All right, before we go, I know we're already late, Casey.
It's fine.
But I want you guys to talk a little prospect baseball, jumbo shrimp. You guys know the stuff. Give us like 2 or 3 minutes on who to watch here.
2 words, Max Mayer.
Yeah, 100%. He was in the Futures game last year, 3rd pick out of Minnesota. Dude's going to be electric. I think he pitched once or twice with Jacksonville last year. He should start the season here. He has flow, which is awesome, and it's blonde flow, so that's even better. Throws hard. Stuff is nasty. Going to be legit when he finally gets to Miami, but I'm excited to watch him pitch as well. That's the guy I'm all over as well.
Who else? What else we got?
I mean, it depends on what they do. Like, will J.J. Bleday start the season here? We don't know.
He'll make his way up, though.
Absolutely. At some point, he will be in AAA. He didn't fare super well in AA last year, but it is what it is. And then
Jesus Luzardo, maybe?
It depends what they do with him. Like, because spring training's so short, like, we'll have to see how they handle their roster.
That's
and
a
then
good call.
Obviously, with Derek Jeter leaving due to the fact that it sounded like they don't want to win, that may skew what happens with the major league roster, like with a guy like Leyland Diaz who hit home runs that are still going last season. So it depends on if they want to win, but a guy like you mentioned, like Max, will definitely be here. Blade will be here at some point.
Also looking at opponents who are going to come in that you're a Red Sox fan, Brent. Jeter Downs, the number 2 prospect, I believe, for the Red Sox. He'll be here opening day. Red Sox got a few of their top prospects. Tampa Bay, we saw Wander Franco, Vidal Brujan here last year, Josh Lowe. They got some of their prospects further up. I really am excited to see, though, Adley Rutschman. I believe I said that right.
Yeah, you did.
Where did he play college ball? Oregon?
Oregon State.
Oregon State?
Yeah.
Number 2 prospect in baseball.
Catcher, right?
We saw the number 1 prospect here last year. Adley may have played here for a series or so, but he'll be here this year. Grayson Rodriguez also for the Orioles. You know, there's a lot of talent that's going to be coming to Jacksonville. I'm excited. My Iowa Cubs for the Cubs organization going to be here in September. For any Cubs fans out there, be sure to check that out because they have got, by the end of the year, they're going to have a lot of their top prospects there. Brennan Davis, I'm sure, will be there if he's not called up for September. Davis is going to be a stud. He's going to be the next big thing for the Cubs because he can rake with the bat, center fielder. If he's still here, that would be amazing. Sure, you got to go out and see him.
All right, there he is. Noah Schlicksup. Maybe we should do a minor league prospect show here. You, Casey?
Sounds like another show.
Just another show. We're just adding shows left and right. We're just trying to find a home for 15-year-old
I feel like I live
Noah.
here anyway, so that's fine.
You do a great job. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thanks.
Almost as much as Amanda.
Awesome. Good.
Noah, good work, man.
Thank you, Brent. Off to call some Creekside baseball.
Yeah, we got to get a W now. Creekside against Nice tonight at 6:30.
Tune in on Schlick Sports.
You can listen to the call of the game and watch it with Noah at 6:30. Schlick Sports on YouTube. Make sure you follow him on Twitter as well. He wears his own shirt.
Love it.
He's got his brand going. We like it. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Casey.
We'll be right back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy and mild tonight, dropping only into the 60s. Clouds will move in on your Wednesday. It'll be warm, but in the afternoon and evening, some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms with highs in the low to mid 80s. From the CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop Beard's Diamonds.
Inventory, and more inventory. You heard right. If you want over 500 amazing pre-owned, then you've got to get to Arlington Toyota. 100 used trucks, over 200 used SUVs. That's rows and rows of amazing pre-owned selection ready to test drive at Arlington. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for the full selling price toward another vehicle. If you want inventory, then come and get it at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/March for details.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-onefcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for golf fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year. Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
In times of fear, World Vision is there for the most vulnerable. For the last 70 years, we've been standing with kids and families through natural disasters, war, and disease, delivering life-saving aid and helping rebuild lives. And with every act of courage, faith, and love, we do more than just stop the spread of fear. We replace it with hope. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Life always has its challenges, but if you feel hopeless or suicidal, you don't have to face it alone. I'm Dr. Christine Caulfield, CEO of LSF Health Systems, and our free Link to Life program can help. We'll connect you with a care coordinator who will work with you to build better tomorrows. Please take suicide off the table. Contact Link to Life at 904-582-3252 or visit lsfhealthsystems.org.
I think there's a chance that happens. Like, you don't have to give him away, and because they are paying Trey Lance on a rookie deal, it's not like you have too much money allocated to quarterback. I think the way people look at Jimmy Garoppolo is really not that significantly different than how they look at Carson Wentz. Like, again, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is better, okay? But I'm saying, like, I don't think they're viewed that differently. So what are you going to give up for Jimmy Garoppolo? Like, you're not getting Jimmy Garoppolo for a third-round draft pick.
That is Matt Hasselbeck.
Yo, so close.
The other one?
Yeah, the other one.
What's the other one's name? Tim.
Yeah.
What's Matt doing?
He works.
Which one was on Survivor?
What?
Yeah, one of them was on Survivor, I think. Or maybe it was his wife. I think it was his wife was on Survivor.
Which one? We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just somebody named Hasselbeck.
I bet our next guest will probably know. Let's welcome in John Bachman. John Bachman, is this like your first appearance on the show in like 2.5 years?
I feel like it's been at least that long. It's been a long time. I've missed you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of missed you, too. I can't speak for Austin.
Well, I heard he's out skiing in Colorado. It must be rough. I know he doesn't miss me right now.
Hey, Hasselbeck's wife was on Survivor, right?
Yeah, I believe she was. She was on The View for a while. That's where I think she was on Survivor to get her break. Yes,
that's right. See, that's what happens. If you go on Survivor, you get the break, and then you're on The View.
That's right. That's how it works.
It's like a pipeline.
So
it's a pipeline.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. Okay, guys? We'll get to why John's calling in a moment. But I was...
Also, why are you promoting The View, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. Is that not on us?
No, it's not on us.
Oh, is that even going anymore? I thought they've had all sorts of issues.
I don't.
Every time I watch TMZ after our show on 7 o'clock on Fox 30,
there you go.
I see them talking about what's going wrong with The View. I think.
Well, there you go.
But
okay, sorry. Go ahead. You were saying.
Well, I was thinking of this because my wife was watching The Bachelor, another one not on CBS 47 or Fox 30.
You're doing a great job of plugging our stuff.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
But like I call that show reality prostitution. But
whoa,
like that is an unbelievable. I can't believe it. But anyway, Jesse Palmer.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So Palmer obviously plays football, but he goes on that show, and all of a sudden he's like this transcendent star everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. He's just an okay football player.
He's hosting everything now.
But he's hosting everything.
Got commercials. He's got he's killing it.
And so I kind of I put him in the category of I really think what's his name from American Idol used to be on Fox but now isn't. There's another one. Seacrest.
Yeah.
Got super lucky, right? I think of I'm almost wondering what makes these people so what makes Jesse Palmer so marketable that you want him on everything that is created. Blake Shelton, another one. Okay, the guy can sing. He's popular. But, he's everywhere. I don't need Blake Shelton in my life that much.
He's got a real, just a good personality, man.
Another show that's not on us.
Oh, my goodness.
You are batting 1,000, buddy. I did like how you slid in TMZ.
What shows do we have? What do we have?
We have the. I think it's called The Talk.
Okay, there we go.
With Amanda, what's her name, Klutz from Dancing with the Stars. Another way to slide into, kind of. Anyway,
but said slide.
Yeah. I'm still lost where we are right now. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know either. I find it interesting to see what, and obviously research seals the deal at the national level, the network level. But I just find it odd, to me, I don't know, I'm not watching everything Jesse Palmer is in, but apparently women aged 25 to 54 do.
Just in, Brent, you're not in the target demo.
Yeah, I know.
I thought Jesse was good as the host.
You're not there, buddy.
You're not there. Okay. You did okay. That is such a stage show. I'm watching that.
I love it, man.
Oh, it's so bad. I hate
love it.
But it is you could just, John, because you know the business. The questions are so staged. It's like they rehearsed that thing. One time, Palmer in the end's oh, I don't even know what's going to happen next. The hell you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
This thing's all scripted out.
Remember, first of all, when they pick the quote-unquote contestants, they're picking people that they think will be the drama and get the things that they want.
Oh, yeah.
Then they're able to edit stuff out. So reality is a little bit of a stretch in a lot of those shows, I would say.
Well,
I'm
just
not
a
saying
little
it
bit.
doesn't happen. I'm just saying you can edit things to make it look one. It's not true reality. That's for sure.
Well, that's true. I could fall in love with anybody if I was on 6-week vacation. You guys all paid for.
You're right. That's a good point, too. Absolutely. And everybody's beautiful, right?
This is a good time to get Noah out of here, by the way. I hope he's not listening on the way home.
By the way, he is fantastic, man. He's so
going to
good.
be a star, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He
already kind of is, I'd say. He's
incredible. All right.
Yep.
Now the real reason John Bachman called in. We got Play Day back.
Yeah, Playday's back. This is such a great fundraiser for the First Tee of North Florida. And today was a great day. I got to hang out with Earl and Pam, who live in Toronto, but they have a winter home down here. And they heard about this fundraiser that we do for First Tee. And they signed up last year, and they won it this past year in 2021. But because they live in Canada, couldn't get back. Anyway, it worked out. They got to play TPC Sawgrass Stadium course a week and a half after the players. How's that?
That's pretty good.
And they didn't have the horrible conditions that were plaguing the pros. So it was phenomenal. And, of course, Len Matisse was a great host. He shot an easy 69 today.
Wow.
And it was just really, really great. So, yeah, I wanted to come because it was fresh, because we got to do it today. But also to let people know if they want a chance at it. I was in the process of tweeting out everything. So if you go to Bachman and Jax on Twitter, you'll be able to see video of Earl stiffen it on 17. Just stepped right up there, no hesitation. It was the first one on the box. We played it from the pro box, so we were about 135 out. And he just stuck it. The pin was up front, not an easy position downwind today. And so anyway, if you go to my Twitter, I'll be Bachman and Jax. I'll post the link where you can go, and for every $10 donated to the First Tee of North Florida, and every dollar you donate goes to there. But if every $10 donation registers you to win an opportunity to play golf for 2 people, 2 rounds at TPC Sawgrass Stadium course with Len Matisse. And I'm there to document it all. It's a lot of fun. Len and I like to have a good time, so you get to have some laughs even if the golf is tough.
That's awesome. John Bachman with us, the play day to raise funds for the First Tee of North Florida. And basically, once you see this unveil itself, you could win a round at TPC Sawgrass with John and Len, but when you go play next weekend, some of the proceeds will go back toward the First Tee and raise some money. You guys started, I think this is going to be year 3 of it. Sound right?
This is year 3. We started this back during the pandemic when our big, huge Taste of Golf fundraiser, which is coming up in April, was canceled. We raised like $100,000 or more for First Tee North Florida at the Taste of Golf. So if you're interested in that, by the way, I'll give a cheap plug to that as well. Go register. It's a great event. Also at TPC Sawgrass at the clubhouse there. It's phenomenal. But so the Taste of Golf was canceled because of the pandemic, and Len and I were talking one day, and we're like, why don't we do something fun like this? And so, there's a hashtag play day, and the idea is, you get out and play. So the weekend is April 1 through April 3, Friday through Sunday, and we encourage you to, maybe use this as a good excuse to go out and play some golf. And while you're there, click on the link, donate to First Tee, maybe post a picture of you guys playing with the hashtag play day, post a score if you want to do that, and talk some good-natured trash to your buddies. It's just the idea is to just, draw attention to the great game of golf, to the wonderful organization of First Tee, and hopefully have a little fun doing it as well.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully you'll come up in studio. I know you're off this week, but come on up and talk a little bit more about it next week as we get closer. We'll remind the folks all about it and help support the First Tee in North Florida as well. Thanks, man.
Love it. Thanks for having me, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in person next week, and we'll talk some more about it.
And don't forget to watch every show on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
There's a whole lineup of great shows.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That includes Action News Jax with John Bachman, Tanika Hughes, Mike Burish, and the Action Sports Jax sports team.
Somebody from sports.
For a couple minutes.
Yeah. The rumor has it you're in there somewhere.
Somewhere. Don't blink, but we're in there. All right, let's take a break. We got one more break. We're up against it today. I like it.
Busy day.
Got a fun day. What are we going to do tomorrow? Have some more fun.
Open cards, I think.
Open cards down at Davoli's House of Cards. You coming by, folks? 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. Casey's going to join me. I want somebody to beat Casey in a pack battle tomorrow. Show up at Davoli's House of Cards between 3 and 6. Better off between 3 and 5, really, tomorrow. And then beat Casey in a pack battle so I can see him get mad. That's what I want to happen.
That's what we're all working for, me to get upset over children. Yep.
It doesn't have to be a kid, but we kind of welcome the kids down there for the pack battle. We'd like to see them there and see if they can go home with some cards. That's tomorrow, ESPN 690 on a Wednesday at Davoli's House of Cards down there in St. Johns County. We're right off the highway on 210. We'll be right back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Sometimes you need an adjustment for that back or neck. Sometimes you need massage therapy for the same. Maybe you need a wellness consultation to protect from injury. You can do all of that and more at 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. And it doesn't matter where you are in town. There's a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. If you need a wellness consultation, look up 904chiro.com. If you need massage therapy or an adjustment, look up 904chiro.com.
All offers with approved credit and not a conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Jeep Celebration event.
Interest rates are still low, and this is a great time to buy a new Jeep from Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside,
Renegade,
Compass,
Gladiator,
and Grand Cherokee. Choose from a great selection and get the right one for your family. If for any reason we don't have exactly what you want, we'll order it at a price you'll love. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, I-295 and Commonwealth Avenue.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for golf fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't safe touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what safe touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And safe touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the safe touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the safe touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look! An emu wearing sunglasses!
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
All right, we got a cool story here in Jacksonville. The other day, you went to the Pirates game. You were in Bradenton, right?
Yeah, you better believe it.
You saw Ben Gamble. What did he do?
He went yak right over the a station we can't say 25 sign in Bradenton.
That's good.
Right into the Tiki Bar. We can say that.
Well, today he hit another home run.
On fire.
He really can hit. The Gamble brothers can really hit. And Matt had some injuries with his knees. Ben has had a nice prolonged career. He's bounced around a little bit. Milwaukee had some good times there. Seattle and now with the Pirates.
Yeah.
But he can flat out hit. And good player, fun player. And we had him on our show a couple years ago. We did an all-baseball show. Good dude.
Has flow.
He has a lot of flow. You're right.
It matters.
And so today he hits another home run for the Pirates in Bradenton.
Yeah, he did.
Opposite field homer. Then he leaves.
Okay.
And he drives to Jacksonville, and hopefully he's here by now, or maybe he's on his way or whatever. I don't know. I'm assuming he drove. Maybe he flew. Probably flew, right? But
probably.
And his wife is going to give birth to their baby girl tonight. Delilah is her name.
Wow.
And so home run and a baby. All in a day.
It's a good day.
That's a good day.
It's a good day.
So that's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, very good. So how long is that? Now you got me thinking. Ben Gamble, I wonder how long he's now been in the bigs.
Oh, it's been a little minute.
Yeah, he was, of course, it takes a long time to get up to the bigs.
I'll tell you this, when I was out there getting autographs in Bradenton on the regular for minors, he was a pretty high prospect in the Yankee system. I believe he was on the teams.
He was in the Yankee system, you're right.
Yeah, I think he was on the teams with like Greg Bird and Dante Bichette Jr. when they were coming up. Yeah.
So he, in the big leagues, played a little bit with the Yankees, then went to Seattle, then Milwaukee, and Cleveland. I missed that stop for a short time.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh. So
he's got a home in Pittsburgh.
He's 29 years old, and so he's played since 16 in the bigs.
Yeah.
So this will be his 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, seventh year.
Yeah, I was talking to some people in Bradenton that are Pirates fans, and they like him. And listen, to be nice about the Pirates, not a whole lot going for him, but they told me Ben Gamble's one of their favorite players and one of the bright spots. So if the Pirates have nothing else, or if you have nothing else to root for the Pirates, might as well check out Ben Gamble, because it sounds like he's a staple in that lineup all season long.
He's got a 258 career average. I thought it might even be a little bit higher. It's spot duty at times, but there are some years where he had a bunch of plate appearances. Since 17 with Seattle, he had 550 plate appearances.
Yeah.
He had 300, 356, 421 total between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So, he's really, to be an almost everyday guy, and even at 400 plate appearances doesn't make you like an everyday guy, but it's almost an everyday guy. He really hasn't had a lot of chances to do that. And when he has, he hit 8 homers, drove in 26, hit 247 last year. It's just okay. But back in the 17 year with Seattle, 27 doubles, 11 homers, almost 60 RBIs, and hit 275.
It's a good season.
So listen, baseball's a really tough sport if you're in and out of the lineup all the time. If you get a chance to be a regular, and I know we've shown a lot of TV highlights of Ben making some nice plays in the field, too.
Good fielder.
Yeah, pretty good fielder.
Absolutely.
So Ben Gamble with a nice day. That's a good way to end the show. How about that? A little nice story. Ben Gamble. Home run today over in Bradenton for the Pirates.
Yeah.
And a baby girl tonight.
9-4-1.
So congratulations to the Gambles, the Bishop Kenny product.
By the way, real quick, tonight, ESPN 690, 7 o'clock, Knicks Hawks in the Garden. Trae Young is balding. You better believe it.
I saw the Knicks Hawks on Christmas Day. That was without Trae Young.
This one
and
will
we
have
still got the
Trae
chance.
Young. Yeah, so be listening to that one, see if you can catch the balding chance right here on ESPN 690.
Good one. I like it. We'll be back at it tomorrow at 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. Join us down at Davoli's House of Cards if you can. If you can't get down there on 210 and have some fun with us, well, then you can listen right in your car or really just about anywhere to ESPN 690. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. So you need to change your oil. Right now you can get